Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV, man. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. Listen, right now we got ourselves an exclusive for the people, man. I'm telling you, we was going to deliver it. I got my man Michael Bryson representing the Astros. You already know JALISCO. We about to get all into it, man. This is unbelievable. It's an honor to have you. I definitely hope that this is an unbelievable relationship, the start of an unbelievable relationship between us and yourself. I've done my research on you. I've seen your basketball journey coming from Sacramento. We're gonna break it all down. But before we get into it, let everybody know where you from and everything that's going on with you. Introduce yourself. It's Flight Sports TV. We live.
Yeah, what's going on, yo? Appreciate you having me. First off, want to thank you for that. But then, my name's Michael. Come from Sacramento, California. That's where I was obviously raised out there and went to school out in Santa Barbara. I was there for 4 years, and then after that, started playing professional basketball. Started off going to Australia. Spent a few years in the G League, bounced around in Canada, bounced around in Mexico out here. This is the second stint out here, and then I've also been to Hungary. Trying to touch every continent. That's the goal right now. I want to be able to say that I've traveled the world and seen every facet of life and be able to understand myself a little bit more from that. But using basketball as a platform for me to use, be able to travel and be able to experience life in that way is something I'm obviously trying to continue doing and trying to see obviously how far within the sport of basketball I can, pursue.
Right, absolutely. What was it like, the basketball journey coming from Sacramento? Because obviously we hear of the scene in Los Angeles, but what was it like scratching and clawing to the point where you're at today coming from Sacramento? Talk to the people about that.
No, yeah, I really love what is going on in LA, and obviously there's a lot of notoriety within the LA basketball scene, and I think. Personally, obviously, I have bias coming from Sacramento, but I think that's an avenue that we truly could expand on as a city. And I think that we have so much talent coming out of there, and whether it's football, basketball, whatever, I think allowing the city to have a better network to put their guys, whether it's younger or, already in professional and trying to continue to play, allowing for them to have a beneficial career off of the city and being able to obviously bring attraction back to them as much as obviously coming from the city brings pride for themselves. But in Sacramento, I have to say, obviously, Gus Armstead is the guy that, he runs the city right now, in my opinion. And I obviously am biased again because that's who I've been training with since I was in high school, a senior in high school. So anything basketball related, if you're trying to have anything that's worthwhile or you want to have a weight to your name, you have to go through Gus. And that's just what it is. That's how it is. To the Hoop has been running out there. You can look it up. I mean, Phil Handy is a big guy that comes out to LA. He has close ties with Gusto, and that's, something that's going to be running forward, for however long Gus wants to do it.
Right, absolutely, man. That's an unbelievable story that you just laid out. Like I said, Sacramento has got definitely a rich history in basketball, and I'm definitely honored that you was able to let everybody know what's going on with that. Now, coming out of high school, obviously you went to high school in Sac. you had NBA dreams. Let everybody know what that process was like coming out of Santa Barbara. What was that journey going into the G League? Speak to the people about that.
No, yeah, it's the G League it's an amazing opportunity for guys. I'm gonna start off by giving this praise because it truly is. You're in the backyard of the NBA, and I think that's the best way to explain it, is that you are so close to the NBA, and it feels that way. With the same breath, though, you're also so far away. I've always compared the G League to JC Ball. I personally never experienced JC Ball. I was fortunate enough to obviously have a good situation coming out of high school and going straight to a D1, being able to play there. And I never had to endure that struggle and that, avenue of basketball. But being in the G League and hearing the conversations that I hear from a lot of guys that play JC Ball, it is kind of hand in hand because it's a double-edged sword. You can have a great game in the G League, score 40 ball, score 50 ball, but you're in the G League. So, it doesn't hold as much weight as obviously if you was in the NBA and had that 40 50 ball. But then on the opposite side of it, if you have a bad game, if you have a game where you don't score double digits or, you just don't look the right way, all right, cool. If you was in the NBA, it's not a huge deal. Maybe you have some people, some fans that are upset because they didn't get the over and the under, especially with all these new rules with betting. But obviously, with the bad games in the G League, it goes to show, oh, that's why he's in the G. Okay, and that's a tough stigma to try and get over and try to fight through. And then one of my favorite questions I got, because we go to these smaller cities. You have Sioux Falls, who's a little bit of a smaller city, regardless of their success. And we're out there, and we had a fan come up, and they asked, what team you play for, and they asked, do we play against the Harlem Globetrotters? Basically thinking we're the Washington Generals. And that was probably the most, I'm not gonna say disrespectful, but it was the most humbling question I've ever had to answer in my stint in the G League. And so for that, I will say that it's a beautiful opportunity as long as you're given that opportunity. If you're kind of sitting the bench or you're not able to show what you do, it can be humbling, and it can be sometimes disruptive to your mindset and your goals and what you're thinking you want to do with basketball. And I have a lot of friends, a lot of guys that have left the G League because they wanted to get more love. They wanted to go overseas. They wanted to be the man or whatever it was they were in college or in high school or whatever idea of basketball that they're trying to play. And sometimes it doesn't fit. The G League, like I say it in one word, it's humbling.
Right, absolutely. And like I said, for anybody that's wondering, my man, shout out to Michael Bryson. We got at the Astros in the building. You already know what it is. You had an extensive period in the G League as well. You played with the Minnesota G League team, also the Delaware Blue Coats. I seen some of your clips. I mean, you were jumping out the building. The hops was crazy. The jumper was there. You know, I see what's going on now in Mexico. I see a lot of guys coming, from the G League. It seemed like it's an influx. Is the goal to get back to that point, to the G League? What is the ultimate goal? Because you have so many guys coming from that system, to the CIBA Copa. Talk to me.
Yeah, I think it's praise to the CIBA Copa. Because this is my second stint out here. My first time I came out, I played. It was right after my season with the Minnesota Timberwolves G League team. The coach there, Scott Roth, got me an opportunity. He had a connection out here. Shout out to Scott Roth again. He's over there in Australia, killing it. Him and his family out there having a great time. I'm happy to see his success out there. But he was able to get me a good opportunity to play in another country that I'd never been to. So it was an opportunity, like I said, to explore, to travel, to see different things. But frankly, the CIBA Copa, their money's gone up. They have more freedom and more flexibility to pay guys. And I think a lot of guys that are coming out of the G League, obviously, it's, as I mentioned, it's a double-edged sword from the basketball aspect, but the money aspect as well is something that they've gotten better for sure. No question about that. But it's still something that, a lot of guys that are G League level players are, six-figure players when you go overseas, or, it just depends on your play set and your style and all that. But it's an opportunity out here to make more money sometimes than it is in the G League. And that's, for me, that's one of my biggest goals right now, is to make as much money from this game as I can. My first few years, huge goal, make it to the NBA. That was, still is a goal. I'm not going to say it's off the charts for me. I don't really ever want to do it, but it has to be a good situation. And I've been, through the ringer with the G League, and I understand the ins and the outs. I understand the ups and the downs that come with it within the sport itself, but especially within the NBA and the G League attachment, it's a political game, and it's a tough grind. Even if you have all the skill sets and all the accolades and everything going on, you still have to know the right people, and the right people have to believe in you and give you the same opportunity that you think you deserve. And sometimes you don't get that, and you have guys that get lost overseas. So I'm not going to say I'm lost overseas, but I will say that I am completely invested into the idea of staying out here, enjoying the avenue of basketball that they have provide around the world, until, the places back home can, show me something that obviously I haven't seen in my past with them.
Right, absolutely, man. That was unbelievable. You spoke about the politics of the G League, and I'm telling you, we have seen an extensive period. We've been watching the G League, like I'm telling you, like front page news. We know it's politics. Can you speak, if you can, an example of some of the political games that's played in the G League that affect so many talented young guys that's out there with aspirations of getting to that next level?
Yeah, personal experiences. Those are sensitive, name dropping and stuff like that. But I won't say any names, but I will say that anybody who's been in the G League has been witness and has been sometimes a victim to somebody that has an agent that has a good connection with an owner, or a college coach has an incredible connection and has basically a pipeline to an NBA team. If I had known the weight that college schools play on it, as far as where you go and your success, and what kind of doors can be opened for you, I don't think I would have changed my decision, but it definitely would have made me think about it twice, and it would have allowed me to kind of go into the idea of college and what it would allow me to do going forward after, college basketball, going into professional realm. It would have changed my perspective on it for sure. But personally, I can say that I feel that I've had an opportunity, I would say closer to 2018, 2019. I had a bad injury with my ankle where I, had to go get surgery and had to do all these different things to recover. But going into my first year in Philly, I had true aspirations of being a two-way player that year, waiting for my time and being able to go and play in the NBA. Because at that point, I think I was as athletic as any other 9 guys on the floor. I think my shot was as consistent as any other 9 guys that could have been on the floor. And frankly, I'm just a competitive dude. So you're not going to put, another guy in front of me and tell me that he can do something I can't. And whether that's, ignorance, or if that's confidence, you can call it what you want. But I do know my abilities, and I've learned that I believe that my abilities are best shown on a team that wants me there. And that's frankly what my goal is now. Is I don't want to be anywhere that don't want me. If they don't want me there, then why would I want to be there? That's just like my relationship with people. So at this point forward, like I said, it's money. That's my biggest motivation going forward with basketball. But the personal experiences from the G League definitely humbled me to the idea that, you got to be ready for everything. You got to be ready for ups and downs. And it truly tests your love for the game. The G League is it's the only word I ever think of as humbling. It's the best word I could think of, just because of the fact that you get thrown through the ringer, and you have to see, if you love the game, you're going to stick with it. I've seen a lot of guys quit from it because of the G League. So it all depends on the person, what you're trying to get out of the game and what you're wanting from it. Now, at this point, it's just my love and trying to obviously put my family into a better position once I leave the court than when I stepped onto the court.
Right. So how long have you been with the Astros? Is this not your first year, is it?
Yeah, first year. I had an opportunity going into the beginning of this year. Switched up a few things on the other side of basketball within, the front office for my side of basketball, but got an opportunity out here. Was able to Yev was my new agent. I signed at the new year, and he was able to give me an opportunity out here, coming out to the Astros. And, so far it's been a beautiful experience. They, They have a lot of success, obviously, prior. Last year, they're winning the championship and LMVP winning the championship. So we're definitely coming in with high expectations, but that's the type of basketball I like to play. I like playing when people expect wins. I don't want to be anywhere where losing is acceptable or where winning is an astonishment. Winning is the necessary. That's why you play the game.
Right, absolutely. That's why I said as I was looking at the Astros, you guys, like I said, who knows what's going to happen this year? Obviously, the championship is on the horizon. What's some of your toughest opponents? This season. Obviously, you're 2-0. Who's on the radar for you guys that's looking like a challenge?
Well, as much as I like to try and look ahead and try to mark games on the calendar, our next biggest game is our next game.
Right.
We have to do it one game at a time. It just happens to be that Mexico City is actually a good team. We actually lost to them in the preseason tournament. They won that tournament. Kudos to them. So now it's time to see. Go out there, first season game against them, and see if, was it a fluke? Was it something that we can correct on? But they're a good team. They have a lot of good guys. They have another G League player, 2-time, if not 3-time MVP in the G League with Vanderblue. So you can, he can speak on it as well. It's a tough thing. He was a 2-time MVP and didn't get what I think he deserved as an NBA shot, a true NBA shot. He's an NBA scorer and just never got the opportunity. So like you said, Copa has a lot of guys from the G League coming in and out of it. There's a streamline obviously developing. So this next game against Mexico City is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good test. That's tomorrow. If y'all want to tune in, feel free. But it's going to be a fun season. There's a lot of good games along the way. A lot of good talent, a lot of guys, names that you would have heard of in the States playing out here and dropping 20, 30, 40. One guy just had a 50 ball this last week. So 48, I'm going to give him the extra 2 points because that's close enough for me. But, it's a tough league. So we're going to see what we can do as a team this year.
Right. You brought up the $1 million question, when you brought up, do we want to tune in? I mean, absolutely. That's what I think. I think that's what we all want to know. How can we tune in, from where we're at? Can you give us an avenue? I mean, talk. What can you do?
You, my family, and my friends are asking the same. I find out usually 15 minutes after the game starts. There's a link that gets dropped. I'm not sure why it gets dropped so much later than we can plan for, but like tomorrow, it should be on YouTube. I would say to try and search it. I've had family and friends try to search it. That's something that we're going to try and correct. I'm going to try and get somebody to give me an answer for that. And as soon as I get that answer, I'll be able to give you that answer. But yeah, it's a hunt right now out here in Mexico. We're just happy the games are being recorded, happy that we were able to watch the film on them, able to build off it, but going so that we can have obviously streamed to the family and friends and to those out there in the States. That's something I'm obviously trying and figure out for you guys.
So I just want to let everybody know, because everybody's been asking and clamoring for this. He just said that it should be a link dropped on YouTube. They are actively working on it. You understand? They understand the severity of the situation. Friends and family, media. We want to tune in. All eyes are on the Astros right now. So they understand the situation and they are working on it as we speak. So just be patient with us. Yeah, no problem. You brought up something about, because you obviously this is not your first stint here with the Copa. You brought up the influx of money that's coming into the league. What are some of the changes that you see now being in the Copa to when you were in before?
Yeah, it frankly, money brings a different level of basketball. It brings a different level of respect, and it brings a different level of excitement to the game. You're able to spend more money on athletic guys. You're able to spend more money on, competitive bigs. You're able to spend more money on guards that can get to the rim or they can pull up or be athletic or whatever it is. Because once you leave, in my opinion, the G League is, one of the better leagues in the world. As far as being able to be a direct pipeline to the NBA. And then the NBA is, a lot of people can say what they want. We have track stars that say the, NBA isn't the best league or it's not the world championship, and I get it. But NBA, everybody wants to be in the NBA. That's why Luka doesn't play overseas. That's why, Embiid is coming to the States to play basketball and is deemed an American now. Like these are players that could have gone to any other country to play basketball, and they chose the NBA because they know what it is. They know the NBA is the best level of basketball. It's the highest, the most views. Everybody around the world recognizes what an NBA logo is. The G League is, its little brother or its JV team or, whatever disrespectful tone they want to try and give. But the G League is there. There's a reason those guys are playing in that league. And there's a reason that those guys make good money when they go overseas. You don't have to have an NBA tag. A G League tag is substantial as well. And I believe that the CIBA Copa takes reference to that. They understand that, and they have gotten the money now as they've gotten success, as they've gotten more views, as they've gotten whatever it is that brings the money in here to Mexico. They've been able to give it back to people and obviously give it to sports and allow for it to be a better show of basketball.
Right. Now, obviously, this is your first year with the Astros. You got influx of new talent with the roster. Who's some of the guys that obviously the team is all gelling? Who's some of the guys that you noticing right away? That man, he's something else. Who do we need to look out for?
I'm biased. Again, I'm going to shout out to all my guys that are from my area. So Mike McKinney, we come from the same city. He's a Bay Area kid, but he decided to, move on up and move out to SAC and figure out what real life is going to be about. But ever since he came out to SAC, I've known him. He went to SAC State, played against him when I was at Santa Barbara. We got into the same agency, trained. I literally was with him the full 3 months before training, coming right before I came here. So Mike McKinney's my boy. That's who I'm always going to shout out. He's an absolutely astonishing player to watch. Every time he puts the ball on the floor, you don't know what's going to happen defensively. He has a bunch of nicknames. He's crafty as all can be. One of our guys calls him cheat code because the man he can't be guarded. When he's in his zone, he cannot be guarded. And frankly, his zone is pretty much whenever he wants it to be. So that's my guy. That's what I'm going to shout out for sure. And then obviously I would say as a collective team, though, we truly get along really well. So we're all striving for each other to do well. And that's something that is really tough to find in a country like this, in a team like this, where there's a lot of ego, a lot of guys coming to the team thinking that they're the man. And that can be cancerous at times. And I would say, knock on wood, hopefully things continue to go as they've gone. But there's a very positive nature to the team that we have. And I think that with our individuals, or with our team success, rather, the individual success will be shown. It's any guy's night, anytime. Scouting against us, I would assume, is a nightmare.
Right. Also, what about coaching, the training staff? Speak to the people of the quality of the training staff and the coaching in the CIBA Copa.
Yeah. So I can speak from when I was in Hermosillo to now. That we talked about earlier about what the money influx does for the league and what it does for the team and basketball itself. This team that I'm on has a substantial amount of money and a substantial amount of resources. And apparently, coming from our staff, this is the home of where the medical, kind of technology and the forward thinking for what we're going to be doing within the medical field in Mexico is done here. And they're trying to be the home of that and the pillar of what medical excellence really is. So our trainers, our medical staff, top notch. I have absolutely nothing but positive things to say about them. Anything I ever need, ever have to get, they are quick to it and they are super accessible. Aside from that, the basketball and the team aspect, as far as like what the team is able to provide, this city is Guadalajara itself is it's a huge city. It's absolutely beautiful. There's so many things to do, almost too much to do. I got to make sure I stay inside and, stay out the way. But it is an amazing experience so far that I've been able to have. I've only been here a couple of weeks. But the team itself, I have really no complaints. They're extremely helpful, extremely accessible. We have every resource that, frankly, we would need. Anything that you would need in the States. Here in Guadalajara, we have it. It's been like I said, it's top notch. Truly top notch. The money is, whether it's because of the money or just because of what this team wants to stand for, they got it going on out here.
Right, absolutely. Now, not only yourself, you spoke on, obviously this is your first year with the Astros. You are not the only person on this team. Obviously, you got a lot more guys with their first year. One of the guys is LiAngelo Ball, G3, G Honcho. I want to let you know this channel here definitely represents
Oh
the
yeah.
triple Bs. You understand?
Oh yeah. Big
Everybody that
ballers.
comes on this channel, we got the triple Bs in our heart and soul. You understand? We got guys who've been studying, ever since these guys have been in high school, real journalists, they don't get
I
the
think we all
respect they
have.
deserve.
I
Yeah,
think
I
we've
know.
all been watching since
Yeah,
high school. You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely this is a good channel for them. And more success to them as a whole,
right.
as a brand and as a whole, as a family. We only wish success to them. That's all we've ever done. Hopefully.
Right. What has it been like with the short period of time that you've been with LiAngelo? What has it been like, playing, sharing the floor with him?
That's a very popular question that I get since I've been out here. Everybody on social media knows him through social media, and I think that's something that me and Mike McKinney, that's something that we've definitely spoke on as well. You know, you think you know somebody through a screen, and so you can have these opinions about somebody, or you can have like these preconceived notions as to who they are, what they stand for, because you've seen a few videos, or you've seen how they react when the media is around them. But you don't know anybody in this world till you know them, until you give yourself a chance to meet them open minded and see what they present to you. And, at that point, it's on you to, try and determine what you think you know still. But from my experience with the man, he is one of the most chill, humble, and just calm human beings I've ever been around. And maybe that's because I had expectations that there was going to be, this level of expectation that he demanded from the staff or demanded from the people around him or what. He's an amazing human being. I have nothing negative to say about him. He's been extremely helpful. Um, you know, going through all of the the troubles and tribulations with his journey back into basketball, and he doesn't bring any of that to the floor. He doesn't allow anybody on the team to feel less than or to feel that he deserves more than the next guy. He's like I said, I've had no really expectations as far as negativity, but he's blown me away with his positivity and with his, willingness to just truly be a good human being.
Right. Obviously, you know the Seba Copa very well. This is not your first stint here. Obviously, Jello, he's making this his home. How can a guy who has experienced the things that he have, and obviously it's a lot of similar things with you coming from the G League. How can he use this avenue to, take his career to the next level to what that will be?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. There's a lot of G League guys coming into this league. So we, as a media or as a basketball world, we understand the excellence that the NBA G League has. And if you obviously don't, then you're not going to say the casual, but you're good. Someone that doesn't. It doesn't really matter. What you think about it, and that's cool. It doesn't matter. That's fine. It's fine. You have your opinions. If you laced them up and got in the same situation, what would you do? Is my question. But with someone like Jello, and comparing it to my situation, we're both just looking to be able to show a different foot or to show a different, perspective as to what our game is and to who we are as players. You kind of get put into a box sometimes, especially as you go down your career and people try to tell you what you are, tell you what you aren't. They've seen, oh, in the G League you did this or you did that. Every time you step into a new country, a new team, new guys, you get an opportunity to show who you are if it's not who you've been in the past. So for Jello especially, I think for him, he's just trying to rebrand himself. He's trying to show people that he's still a hooper. He still can go get a bucket. He still is that guy. Um, and it just takes opportunity. I think that anybody in the G League, anybody that's been anywhere understands that basketball is a game of opportunity. If you have the skill set, it doesn't matter if you don't get the opportunity. If you ride the bench for 40 minutes, nobody cares that you could have dropped 40 or 50. You have to have the opportunity to do it. So I think that's all we're looking for out here. Just the opportunity to show something different, show our excellence, and show why we deserve to continue to keep playing.
Right, absolutely, man. That was an unbelievable answer. I want to open to some questions from the chat and
Yeah.
also from the panel. I got my man Casual in the building. Casual was good.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hey,
sir. What's
Casual,
good? What's good, OG?
Casual. Listen, I got my man Michael Bryson from Sacramento, California. You
no
already know he
disrespect for my
representing.
casual comment, boss. No
Yo.
disrespect.
Oh no, 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 no.
No
Trust me, trust
disrespect.
me. The reason why I chuckled was because it always make and trust me, you're not the first and you won't be the last that says like the casual and it'd be
Yeah.
like that that's exactly why the name is there.
Yeah.
It's
Respect.
a funny play
Respect.
on it.
It,
But yeah,
it, it,
so
it was crazy. Like I said, you was meant to be here, Casual.
Hey.
yeah,
That's what
Perfect.
that
I was
meant.
meant
Perfect
to be
segue.
here for that one. I was
Yeah.
supposed to be here for that one.
Perfect
But
Casual.
segue.
Like I
yeah,
said, I got my man. He representing the Astros. You already
yeah,
know what it is out in Mexico
for
doing
sure, for
big
sure.
things. We, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow the next game could be aired on YouTube. They are actively working on the link to be dropped. Make sure you stay tuned. They understand the severity of the situation and are working on it extensively. I just want to repeat that, ladies and gentlemen. Casual. What's the deal? Let everybody know where you from and your channel. Talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's casual. From Vanity Sports Debates, Rap God. See you in the chat, man. He already know what it is. A lot of y'all know about me. Y'all tired of me on this channel, but Ms. Bryce, whenever you get a chance, if you could check out Vanity Sports Debates, we just talk basketball. Not even just from
Absolutely.
NBA, but from a pure basketball base, and that sort of lends me to the question I want to ask you. You were talking about the journey of getting to where you're at, and I heard you speak about agency, and it made me think of a question that I always
Hmm.
had. I keep forgetting to ask professional basketball players. Can you speak a little bit about the world of professional basketball in the from the standpoint of you picking your agents, things
Mm.
like that? Like, can you speak a little bit about that? Because I think that's a lost part when it comes to the journey of basketball. A lot of people think you just pick up a jersey or you get picked up by a team and
Yeah.
you put on the jersey and you hoop, but there's a lot of ins and outs when it comes to the paperwork, the business side before you can get
Yeah.
to the court. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Yeah. Basketball is a multifaceted sport.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I enjoy the playing aspect, there are probably 60 to 70 to 80 different avenues in which you can be considered in the basketball world. So, being an agent, I've had my experience. I was lucky enough coming out of college. I had a coach in Bob Williams. He was there with me all 4 years, and he, frankly, was the person who came to my school in high school, and he was the first person to ever tell me, um, well, he was the first person to ever truly tell me you can play professional basketball, and it coming from a
Mm-hmm.
place that he's seen professional basketball players. So that was the first time it opened my eyes to the idea of it. And then from there, he funneled my pathway all the way through college. And then once it was my senior year, he helped me with my agency process. And with that process,
Mm-hmm.
I had to basically cycle through agents that were in FIBA certified overseas, that were here in the States, or with different agencies, bigger names. You have P3, you have all these different guys that you do
Yeah.
your workouts through. But your agency is the one that obviously is going to put you in the best situation for these other teams. They're the one that does the work for you. They're the one that is going to obviously fight for you once you're there, or to get you there rather. And then once you're there, they're the ones fighting for you to make sure you have a good opportunity. They're the ones that are going to have to obviously make sure that your contract looks correct. They're the ones that have to make sure that your living situation is correct. These are all avenues that the agent is responsible for. And so you need someone that understands who you are as a person,
Yeah.
not only for what you want from your basketball life and what you want from your career, but they need to know who you are on the side as well. Do what's your family life like? What's your personal life like? What are your issues you're going through every day? You have any traumas that you're having to deal with that you obviously can't be in certain situations? That's on them to try and understand. And the better the agent you have, the more success I believe that you will have as a career, and you'll be able to focus your complete attention on the sport of basketball. I was fortunate enough, like I said, Bill Neff was my agent, and still, I wish nothing best for him. I truly wish that and hope that things can, we can patch things going forward. I had to switch agencies just to kind of give myself a new light, and switching over to Yev with Who Can't Management. But that is somebody with Bill Neff that I truly, he showed me what the sport of professional basketball was, and he allowed for me to focus on the sport itself a lot.
Yeah.
Same agency that I was with until, like I said, until this last year. So if you are speaking to these fans, speaking to anybody watching, if you are a college player, if you are trying to make your way into the professional sports, the toughest thing is finding somebody that's going to go to bat for you and that's going to do it the right way. That's going to make you seem like a commodity rather than being a pester and being someone that they're trying to just obviously shut up so they can get you, That's the toughest part. Basketball is a simple game. It's everything else around the sport of basketball that makes it so difficult. Figuring out how much you're worth, figuring out what country that you should go to if you shouldn't be in the States, what is going to be your best fit as you, the type of player that you are. And that falls in the agent's hand because a lot of basketball players coming out of high school and college, NIL deals are a different thing now. I didn't have to deal with that, so I don't know that avenue of agency now as far as like the money that comes from these different sponsorships and how much of a role they play. But
yeah, because I would figure you would probably have to get I would figure you probably have to get an agent straight out of high school at that point, right? Especially if you're a 5-star recruit.
It's that time. It's in this world now. Like I said, my experience in high school and college was different because you had guys like Reggie Bush that were getting their Heisman stripped from them just because they took money. Now, you got high school players making money. Talking about Jello and and the Ball brothers. Little bro had to go overseas because they wouldn't take care of him properly.
Absolutely, and that was trifling. But go ahead.
That is true.
It is what it is. So it's a different world of basketball, and it's a different avenue of sport because it's no longer a professional sport where you only get paid if you're a pro. You get paid as a high school player, especially 5-star. Them boys make more.
Hell, I don't remember correctly, but I don't know if Mikey Williams was a 5-star recruit, but he was getting paid out the gate.
Like I said, it's a whole different world, especially when you got social media involved and you're able to use that as a platform to obviously
leverage.
Make money.
Yes.
It's tough. It's tough.
I want to bring up a question for you. Like I said, you played in so many different countries. What was it like traveling to some of these places? Obviously we know what you did. In the SEBA Copa, we know what you did. It was another country, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't Turkey, was it?
No, I was in Hungary.
Hungary, pardon me. Yeah,
Hungary.
What was that like?
So personally, I can't speak for anybody else's experiences, but whenever I go to somewhere new, I try to leave my mind open. I try not to have any expectations, whether high nor low. I try to go into it, just seeing what the country is. And being that I had no expectations, Hungary is a beautiful country. It's beautiful. The architecture is something else. As long as you're willing to try and, you find the good in whatever you want to find the good in. I believe that's how I perceive life. So I enjoyed it. The basketball out there is competitive. The treatment out there is on the way up, I would say. I wouldn't say it's top notch, but they're on the way up. They have understanding for what they want to do.
Read between the lines, chat. Read between the lines, chat.
Thank you. Technology sometimes doesn't obviously prosper in these other countries, but it doesn't mean the education is less than. It just means that the resources aren't necessarily there. But it's a beautiful country. There's a lot to offer from it. It's a good brand of basketball, and it's a growing league of basketball. The money out there is solid as long as you're willing to, travel across the world and go to Europe and be in a, debatably lesser situation than you would be here in the States.
Right. Like I said, that's definitely an unbelievable situation. Like I said, I want to let everybody know this man has been playing professionally in so many different countries. What is your thoughts on the Euro League? Obviously, you played in the NBL. What do you think about China? Did you ever have any aspirations of going there? Did you get any offers? Talk to us about that aspect.
Yeah, it's an avenue that I'm never gonna turn down. I'm open to any avenue of basketball at this point. I'm truly, I'm willing to go into any situation that is, perceived as prosperous for myself, whether it's financially or. With that being said,
did you break up a little bit?
It's something I would definitely be open to. What was that?
No, you good. You okay. You said
Oh,
that you'll be open to it. Outside of the NBA,
yeah.
obviously that's what the ultimate goal. Is the Euro League China? Is that like another? Is that like the 1B?
Yeah, that's my agent is very pressed on me getting there. He believes that's the type of player that I am, the level of player that I am, and who am I to tell him that he's wrong? So my goal obviously is just in my job is to show that is to present a project or a piece that they can say, okay, yes, this makes sense. Let's get him here. But that's on me to show.
Yeah.
He can do everything he wants. He can say I'm this guy. He can talk to everybody, but until I show that I'm that type of player, or I obviously compete against other Euro League level players and show that I still got it, or I can do it, or whatever it is, it's tough for him to do his job. So that's one thing out here is, we have good level talent. We have guys that have been in the G. So being able to, do your thing out here, obviously, hopefully you can get into a better situation going forward. And, it's a stepping stone. Every situation going forward, hopefully you're getting better.
Right. I want to bring in my man, All Access Dex. Dex, we live. We live with Michael Bryson. We got the Astros in the building. Dex, what's your thoughts on everything? Introduce yourself to our guest. It's Flight Sports.
Yes, sir. Salute my man, MB. I just had a question that how does it feel to be a member of the Astros right now?
That's an interesting question. It's walking into the situation, I was just blessed. I was happy to be able to play basketball in a new situation with a new team, being able to show myself. But obviously coming here, the attention that, LiAngelo brings and the attention that being the previous champions of the league, it's a level of excellence. And for me, that is a standard that I truly enjoy. I truly benefit from. And whenever the lights get biggest, that's when I enjoy the game the most. That's when it's the most fun. So coming to this team, I've had plenty of people, like I've said, ask me about, how's Jello this, how's Jello that. Um, the basketball though, it's fun. The games, the fans come out for this team, and they show love. And it's a huge stadium, and they're able to fill it out, and it's a fun time so far. We're 2-0, so that always brings happiness and success, and it's always easy to talk about how fun it is while you're winning. But as I mentioned, there is a true bond within this team already that, as it continues to grow and as we continue to, develop and as we continue to learn about each other off the court, on the court, everything in between, it's only going to get better. I truly think that with success, obviously we're going to have, a lot of fun, but even with the struggles, we're obviously going to be able to grow and be able to learn from it and build off of it. So hopefully it's going to be a beautiful experience here out here in the Jalisco.
Right. Well, what's some of the travel? Obviously, in the States, you could be going from New York to LA. Is the travel crazy out
Yeah,
there?
in the States, they would not like the schedule out here. It's back to backs. So we have 4 games a week, back to back every game. Every time we play, we have another one the next day. So for example, we played Friday, Saturday, same team, back to back. Sunday we had off. We had our nice little practice today, got through film, got through little walkthroughs and whatnot. Strap them up tomorrow. Got to play again the next day, and then we travel the next day, flying out. And then we'll have 2 games the following days after that, and then we travel back, and and it just doesn't stop. It's 4 games a week, so you have 4 games, 2 practices, 1 day off. And that's another, talking about the medical staff and talking about the resources out here. That's something that it's necessary, and them obviously having the resources is going to give us the best opportunity to keep playing well, keep succeeding, and frankly giving you guys a good show.
I have a question.
Go.
What exactly do you do to, make sure that your mind and body is in the same, what I'm saying, is in the best shape possible for that type of schedule? Because my God, me and Chad is sitting over here listening to salute to Slim Can, who he heard that. He
Yeah.
said, sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh. That's a very appropriate, for the podcast for sure. But no, it's tough. And obviously as the season goes, we'll see, what I do
Yeah.
just to keep my mental and physical The medical, I said, like I mentioned before, they have every resource that we will need.
Mhm.
So our physical will be fine. The mental is going to be something that it's individual to the person. It depends on
Yeah.
what your beliefs are. If you are a religious person, then find God and obviously allow for Him to obviously take the burden off you. If you're a spiritual person, then maybe it's your meditation and
Yeah.
you allowing yourself to kind of find peace within whatever it is. But the mental game is something that every player, every league, no matter how many games a week you play, you got to deal with. Because frankly, for me, I think the mental battle is easier when you play 4 games a week, because you don't have as long to sulk. You have one
Gotcha.
game a
Yeah.
week. You got 6 days to sit on the idea of the fact that I didn't play well, or you get overhyped on the fact that you had a great game. 4 games a week, each day is a new day. You can't live in the past. My high school coach had a beautiful saying, yesterday's news is today's fish wrap. Doesn't mean anything. What you did yesterday doesn't mean anything for today. So I think that part of it allows for the mental to be a little easier because you're just coming into the game trying to show what you do. But on the other end, the physical, 4 games a week,
Yeah. That and the
Uh,
physical can blend in with the mental too.
it can.
It's
It can.
crazy. Yeah,
It
it gets
can. It
crazy.
can. This ain't
Hey, I want
AAU,
to.
but
Mike, I want to introduce you to my man Hoop Jargon. My bro Hoop Jargon, this guy, he's one of the best ball family content creators in the world. He's been studying the ball family ever since the boys was in high school. I mean, he don't get enough respect. Hoop Jargon, we joined by Michael Bryson. We got the Astros in the building. Hoop, what's the deal?
What's the deal, man? Flight,
talk
Mike,
to
what's
me.
up, man?
Talk to me. What's up?
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I got a few questions for you, brother. I've been enjoying the interview, and good on you, Flight, for having this together, man. The brother is breaking down many levels. I think people need to hear these kind of conversations so you can level set your water cool discussions and know what's going on and know how the inner levels of non-NBA basketball is. So with that being said, man, I played overseas a few years. I played D1 back home in Texas. So I definitely understand your grind, your story, the things you went through. Also coached at my alma mater, Prairie View A&M University. So I respect where you've gone and what you're doing. Question. So, I think a lot of people don't understand the levels of some of the overseas teams and what have you, and the leagues, as it were. So I just want to get your insight. Well, first question, how long is you guys' season out there in Mexico?
Yeah, we'll be here. As long as things go as planned, we'll be here till July. That's the playoffs are in July, and that's obviously we're here to win a championship. Anything less than will be a failed season, and especially in my opinion. The fans, the staff, everybody here is expecting a championship. So July, we'll be here
Okay.
till July.
And so that's a full season, because sometimes some of the Latin American countries, they have like the shorter seasons.
Oh,
So yes, I want to get that, clear the air on that. Okay, good. It's a nice league. Secondly, where would you compare that? Because people have the I guess the baseline to compare overseas basketball to like the ACB league in Spain, or Liga I believe in what's that? France, I believe. And things
From
of
a
that
top
nature.
league.
The top leagues. Yeah. So how would you compare the league there as far as the competition and what have you to some of the ones that people are more familiar with?
Yeah, so the regular season has the LMBP out here, and that is again a growing league. The country here in Mexico, they have more money to give. Like I said, I don't understand the reason. It's not for me to understand the politics out here, but I do know the way the check looks and on payday, and it looks better out here right now. So with that being said, I think it's tough. It's tough. Leagues they go up and down. If you're not the Euro League, if you're not in Euro Cup, or the NBA, these China, these top leagues in the world that are obviously recognized, you are the second fiddle. And it's not something that I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's just what it is. You're not being aired. You're not being respected the same way. It may be a growing league, but it's a growing league. It's not a grown league. So with that being said, Mexico they're on the way up. Whether it's the off season or the summer league, like now, where it's SIBA Copa or it's their regular season of LMBP, they're on the way up. It would be tough for me to try and compare to France or to compare to Spain because I personally haven't been to those countries. I can only speak for my friends and my other, guys within my agency who have been there and I've talked to, and they've kind of gave me their perspective on the leagues. But I'll say that if you want to understand the level of basketball in any country, it's always good to look at the imports, and that'll give you a good barometer as to what type of level they're bringing. But it's the natives, the guys that are in those countries. That's the true level of basketball. And what I've learned in my experiences with basketball is the higher and more success your team has, those are the teams that get the best locals. You'll have whoever you want, whoever you can afford that's overseas, as far as a Mexican team getting someone from the States or getting someone from the UK or getting whoever. That is always going to be the case. You can always grab somebody. But the locals know who the best teams are, and they know who they want to play for. So if you have a guy that, can either have the chance to go, no disrespect, I know they had a rough season, but if you can go play for Detroit or you can go play for LA, it's not even a question. LA has so much success and the city itself is going to be booming. Whether you winning or losing, you're going to have a better opportunity after that. Same thing goes here. Guadalajara, as I mentioned, is a huge city, a lot of resources, a lot of things to do, and a lot of people, a lot of money. So anybody that is a local here coming to this team is going to obviously have their best opportunity. And I think that's how you gauge a team's success or a team's prosperity is in their locals. How do their locals look? And then the guys that they import over, those are the guys that are obviously going to bring you over the top.
I love that answer because my first team I played for was in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And goodness gracious, man, the local help I had or lack thereof.
You had to work.
Oh, man.
That's the difference, though. That's the difference is when you get onto a team that, okay, yeah, you're the man.
Yeah.
But you're that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You were that only guy. So, it can be a double-edged sword, like I mentioned earlier. So that's my true barometer is for a good team. How do your locals look?
Yeah. And I'll say this, man. And, I came from a school, my stats weren't crazy, in college, but overseas they expected me to be Jordan. You know how it goes. He's American. You know what time it is. Yeah. And so I remember a guy, he broke his hand, and he still was a starting guard for us with a broken hand. So he was right-handed, shooting left-handed. And to be honest, he was one of the
Kobe to me.
Bro.
I'm Jordan.
He couldn't even touch the ball with his right hand. But he was the best option that we had. And so I understand the frustration of being American in some of these situations that you really have to step outside of your game. In college, I'm 6'7". I played power forward, center. I had buddies like you. Yeah. But I had to be like everything over there. I had to be like LeBron, bring the ball up and stuff. And my dribbles ain't all that.
Not everything. Well, because you got to, if you had any success in high school and you played college ball, assuming in high school you had a guy on your team that he was on the team because he's a nice guy. He shows up to practice on time. The coach knows he's going to be consistent. But even you at 30% is going to be better than him at 100%. And there's no disrespect to him. It's just the ceiling. Everybody's ceiling is different. When you go overseas, it's no different. My 40% is probably better than this guy's 100%. And there's nothing against him.
Right.
That's why they brought me over here, though. If I need to play with my left hand only, you best believe I'm going to go get, however many points I need to get to my left hand. Like Kobe, start watching Kobe highlights, start watching some lefty highlights, something. Like you do what you got to do to win. And I think that it doesn't matter what level of basketball we play at. If you're competitive, you're going to do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey, Michael, so I just wanted to ask a question about the earlier you were speaking about, your relationship with your former agent. And how you hope to mend fences at some point.
For sure. Can
you speak a little bit about you being able to differentiate the personal with the business? You know what I'm saying? As far as like I know for basketball players, especially when you're getting into the pro game, that's like one of the biggest adjustments is going from just value and just, basketball is your everything to now understanding that some parts of basketball is more business than it is, your emotions. So can you speak about that just a little bit?
Yeah, you can't have emotions in this game. You can love the game. You can be passionate on the floor. But literally everything that happens outside that box is free reign. You know, it's business. You learn quick whether you are on the short end of the stick or you are watching somebody else, you know, take that plunge and obviously get cut or get traded or get, you know, I think for many people, in my opinion, Isaiah Thomas was the real first example of people seeing that they don't care about you.
You
Even
think
the
so?
top Isaiah Thomas, when his sister passed, he plays that
No.
game, plays the
I
reaction.
agree with you, but I don't think that was the first time because I think I
No,
don't know.
but
Yeah.
yeah, obviously not the first time, but being for my career and seeing what he gave and seeing that Boston just, you know, they didn't care, you know, and it's nothing against them. It's a business. We all know that going into it. But sometimes when it shows its face so plainly, it opens your eyes, you know, because we all understand what the world of basketball is. It's a business. It's a multi-million, if not billion, you know, trillion, whatever it is. It's a business. But when you're falling victim and you gave your all, you know, sacrificed more than you ever should have, and you don't kind of get that love back, it can be humbling, you know, and it can be kind of eye-opening. And for me, that was like one of the most glaring moments. I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much you do. It doesn't matter if you give up your body, your emotions, anything. When it's your time to be gone, they are sending you out quick.
So how hard is it for you to build relationships in the locker room, knowing that at any moment, you know, this relationship that you're building, it could come to an end just like that?
I think that's what makes it so special, just like life. We don't know when life's going to end. You know, today could be the last day. It could be 30 years from now. You know, we don't know. And I think that's what makes the relationship so genuine, is because we're all in the same boat. We all know that this dude could be gone tomorrow if something bad happens or something doesn't go right, or if he does the wrong thing, or if the coach just decides, you know, we don't need him. GM decides, oh yeah, we have a better option. We have a better, you know, alternative. So I think for me as a person, like I said, I try to find the silver lining in literally everything in life. You know, one of my constant thing is I'm just a happy person. So I always try to create genuine connections, because those are the connections that truly, you know, last down the line. And I have friends and connections and, you know, truly, truly true relationships with people that I would have never gotten without basketball. And whether it was for 2 months that I was with them, or, you know, I was able to spend 4 years in college with them, these are lifelong connections that I always have, and I wouldn't have had if I didn't play this game of basketball.
Right. As I'm evaluating your career, you know, you're a 6'4" shooting guard, correct?
Yes.
Did you suffer any stigma being undersized? Did that ever play a part in your career?
No, I played center in high school. I played power forward in college. I still to this day, I just played 4-man, you know, earlier in this league. When I was in the G League, I was playing 4. My father taught me post moves and taught me post defense when I was 8 years old. He was obviously a grown man at this point, posting me up, telling me it doesn't matter how small you are, you have to figure out a way to stop me. And, you know, at that point, at 8 years old, once you realize, like, there are grown men you're going to have to stop, you kind of get strength. You understand the idea. They just had that play with O'Neal when he pulled the chair up on Dylan Brooks. That's a token one. That's something that, you know, you learn early. 2 bumps, let him fall, or you take a charge. You know, post defense has never been something that I've ever worried about. You're not going to outman me, outgrown man me. Like, I hit the weights too. You're not gonna just sun me like anything. I got 6 fouls, 5 fouls, whatever it is, we're gonna use them. So we're gonna get the matchup back to where we need it to be. But no, defensively, and that's just me personally. I'm a competitive, hyper competitive, and confident person in my defense. I don't think there's many people in the world that can score on me if I really want to. But that's, you know, like I said, ignorance or confidence, you call it. But one moment, I need to grab a charger real quick before I die on y'all.
No,
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shout,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted to ask a
hold on,
play.
man. Shout out to my man Michael Bryson. I just joined the building. The Astros is in the building, y'all. We answering all questions that you are looking to be answered, y'all. So get all your questions answered now. I got all access. Dex, I got you with the next question on the way. Once you get us situated. Want to appreciate him for giving us this time, and answering all these questions. All access was good.
Yes, most definitely, Flight. I appreciate that. And then we want to most definitely give a big salute out to Michael Bryson, Big MB, because he could be doing a whole lot of stuff right now, but he chose to spend his time with Flight Sports TV,
Nah,
and
this
that
is
is
where I need to
definitely
be.
appreciated. You know what
This
I'm
is where I
saying,
need to
bro?
be for sure. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah. So MB, on the tail of the tape, on your two first games, I know you was very excited and to some degree appreciative to be able to have a player performance in a real tight, almost nail biter, in which you shot 11 attempts from the field and 3 attempts from the three, netting 26 minutes. And then the next game, you were very efficient, 100% from the floor, but you played less minutes and scored more points. So, how was you able to switch your game performance from being a rebounder and defender, playing more minutes, and then being a efficient scorer, playing less minutes?
Yeah, that's obviously not a goal. I don't like missing shots. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves is so that first game missing as many shots as I did, it became necessary. I I got to do something. I got to do something productive, and that's something that we learn as you grow old with playing basketball. As you get more experience, if you're not making shots, you got to do something. So defense is the one thing I know I can always do. That's something that my body, as long as I can go, I'm going to stop whoever's in front of me. Rebounding is another aspect that we just needed that game, and so that's something I tried to focus in on. But making shots that second game, it opens up the rest of the floor. It opened up everybody else's opportunities to make buckets. And like I mentioned, our team it's tough to scout against us because I don't think I've had a good game yet. Our guy Mike McKinney, as I mentioned him earlier in the podcast, he's a bucket, an absolute certified bucket. We have our big guy Cavell, and he holds it down on the offensive end and the defensive end. He has some time in the league playing with the Pelicans, and he's gone his route overseas. So he definitely is a huge impact. We have another guy, Anderson, who I would consider our floor general. He's been here a few years, been with the team, been with the club, been with the coach, understands the offense, understands what we're trying to get out of it. So he truly adds a different level of composure to the team. And then we have Jello, and then we have, all these Damian, and we have all these different guys that offer us something. So scouting against us is going to be tough. Once I have a good game, I'll be able to say, okay, cool, that was my game. Next game, maybe it's a defensive, and I got to hone in and make sure I, able to stop the guy in front of me and, open up the opportunities for everybody else. But that's something for me I've never had an issue with, never had a struggle with. I don't need to score 30 every game in order to feel like I did my part, as long as I don't need to score 30 to win. If we can win and I score 12, or if I score 20 and we win, it doesn't matter to me. Winning cures all. And teams love
Exactly.
winners, and you know what I mean? So if it means that I need to play 12 minutes and I need to make every shot, perfect. If I need to play 40 minutes and I don't get to take a shot, but I'm guarding the best player on the team, that's my job that day. So I don't
So
mind, biting the bullet for whatever that cause is.
right. So, MB, now you got your feet wet for the first two games, and you guys were very successful. What is your mindset going into tomorrow night's game and the game following?
Yeah, it's so both of them will be against Mexico City, and those are going to be, like I said, two good games. They have a lot of talent over there, some G League guys, as I mentioned earlier in the cast, but it is going to be no disrespect to this last team, but it's going to be our first real test because like I mentioned, we lost them in preseason. So us being able to respond to adversity and responding to our mistakes that we've already made and seeing if we can correct those, it's going to be a big test, and it's going to be a fun test. And it's going to be something that I believe that we should be able to overcome as long as we stick together, as long as we understand what the goal is, and I think that we all do.
Speaking of what the goal is, what have the coaching staff said they wanted out of you coming into this season specifically?
Yeah, so Jorge is our head coach here, and I frankly have nothing but positive to say about him. He is extremely communicative, not only with us as a team within the public setting, but anytime he even thinks that you are, having a bad situation or you're not understanding what your role is, hey, come here, let's have a conversation, one on one, let's talk it out. And he's receptive. He listens. He is willing to hear what you have to say, and he's willing to try and figure out what the middle ground is. And that's something that I give him 100% respect for, because there's so much ego, like I mentioned, coming into this league from these guys that are Americans, or from wherever they're from. Him being able to kind of, release that control and allow for himself to be, receptive is something that not a lot of people, let alone coaches, are willing to do. So I give him complete respect, complete, openness to play me in the game how he sees fit. And my agent, like I mentioned before, if my agent feels that it's unfit or that it's not best for what we're trying to do within my career, then that's on him to obviously voice it out, voice it to me, and then we make changes from there. But when you get wins, it's really tough to, be upset and be, combative with the situation, how you're doing, and when you're getting success.
Like I said, we're gonna get a couple more questions in, man. Definitely, like I said, I want to continue to let it be known as an honor to have you. Like I said, we are gonna be watching your season very extensively, and any frame we can get. We just wish you nothing but success, with your journey, not only this season, but like I said, the journey. And I want to reiterate, I just hope this is the start of an unbelievable relationship. I just want to let you know you could always use Flight Sports TV. We here to be
That's love.
used, Mike. We
That's
here to
love.
promote. That's what we here to do. So anytime, you could definitely hit me up. We willing to pull up. We got a lot of. We would love to hear from you. Just now, I'm looking at the chat. They are just loving the things that you're saying. It's so much information. I mean, I'm telling you, it's almost like
That's love.
a true basketball history lesson here.
No, it's love. Truly, truly. Any questions going forward? I'm here to answer. It's a blessing
Yeah,
that
we
I've been able to
definitely
play as long
appreciate
as
you.
I've been.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a blessing to be able to play as long as I have, and the goal is to keep playing going forward. And all I can do is speak from my own experiences.
So
Right.
And speaking about
I just
experiences, hold on one
go ahead.
second. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Speaking speaking about experiences,
Yeah.
MB, we know Mexico, the country, is a
Mm.
two-pronged experience. You go there, you have fun, you let loose, you live life. It's all good. We know the places in Mexico people go, and the resorts are some of the most extravagant in the world. But
Mm-hmm.
then there's an other side of Mexico that don't paint a pretty picture.
You
How
don't.
how
Yeah.
is it? How is it for you as an American-born player feeling safe and comfortable? And what are the procedures they offer you to make sure that you are safe and comfortable to do your job in Mexico?
Yeah. So obviously, speaking on your first comment in regards to the beauty of the country, there's so much beauty to it. And as much as you're willing to try and experience with the country, you're going to enjoy it as long as you obviously have that mindset and you understand where to go. And as you mentioned, you got to know where not to go. This is one of those countries that is heavily ran by the third party, not government. So, with that being said, you have to know the right lines to walk. You need to understand what times of the day you need to be out and what times of the day you don't need to be out. I think depending on where you're from, you have your own experiences to how you grew up as to what type of dangers you were in your city. Um, I think that depending on where you're from, though, it's no different as far as the way you move and the way you operate than you would in any other city. When it gets dark, you know, bring your butt back home. It's time to be inside and in a place where you have some security. But with that being said, there is plenty of opportunity to have fun and to enjoy yourself without getting in trouble, without getting hurt, without getting into any type of nonsense. The teams aren't going to put you in any position where you are directly in danger. No more than, we can keep ourselves from being in danger in the States. Things happen anywhere. You can't be absolute with absolutely anything. But out here, it's an opportunity for you to experience a new country within reason. You need to, my biggest thing, I think the best way to stay safe, talk to the locals. Don't be afraid to ask them, where can I go? Where can't I go? And if you're not sure, where are they at? Are they home at 8 p.m.? Are they out at 8 p.m.? They're probably in. So at 8 p.m., take your butt home. Be chilling. They give you usually resources for you to enjoy yourself within the confines of your security, but it's an experience. It's a learning experience, just like anything. Every place you go is going to be different. But here in Mexico, my first stint in Hermosillo, we had a couple incidents where there were shootings and there were things around the corner from our gym. But I personally didn't have to get myself involved in any of that, or I wasn't involved in any of that. And then here so far, I haven't had any bad experiences. Knocking on, on wood, that nothing obviously goes or occurs going forward. But, every experience is different. Everybody has their own experience. Everybody has their own expectation of what the country is going to bring. So like I mentioned earlier, I try to keep an open mind.
Right. So obviously your next game, we're going to be watching out for your next game as well, and we're going to be
I got that
staying
link.
in.
As soon as I get it, y'all got it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I said, we're gonna be in communication. I want to
it.
definitely let you know this is my man Dex right here, who you're just speaking to as well.
Appreciate
He
the question,
handles a
Dex.
lot of big business here at Flight Sports TV. We had our guest Casual. We joined by an amazing chat. I want to let you know, like I said, anytime you got something big, anything you want to promote, anything you want to speak, and if it's just to talk about anything, just talk sports. We here to do that. Just like I said, we got the contact and stay in communication, and we are supporting you from here. And like I said, we're gonna drop that link when we get that link. Mike, it's an honor to have you. I don't want to hold you up too much longer.
Nah, it's all love.
Like I said, it's a pleasure. Salute to the Astros. Shout out to your whole team, your whole coaching staff. I want to wish you the best of luck tomorrow on your big time game.
Yeah, I appreciate that truly. Like I mentioned before, these are questions that I'm frankly always open to answer. These are experiences that I've gone through. All I can speak of is all my experiences. But like I said, anytime you guys want to have me back on here, I'd be more than willing. We'll have to set it up, and obviously we can get more content. Do want to shout out, got my Cali Kid beanie on, obviously. My boy Cali Kid makes music, makes clothing. Want to try and shout him out. Cali Kid, Sacramento based. So, like I said, we're trying to get Sacramento onto the map one thing at a time, whether it's, local products or whether it's basketball. We're trying to obviously get that city on the platform and on the map in a way that obviously is prosperous for everybody around it.
Right. Also, like I said, I'm gonna be looking into that. If you could send me, that on Instagram, yes, I'm gonna post it on the story so people could get insight on that. Like I said, we here to promote. You understand? Like the Flight Sports, we here to be used. I want to shout out my man AB the Hero. He in the chat right now. This guy is a legend in the community. He's one of the best ball family content creators in the world as well. This man traveled the world with the Big Baller brand, with Mello.
The Godfather.
Yes, you understand. This guy has inspired so many. I just had to point this man out. I hope that you guys could build a relationship as well. I'm telling you, when you can't say triple B's and not say AB, it just don't make sense.
Hey, you know what? And that's the vibe, and it's all good. Honestly, add me on Instagram, add me on whatever. It's all love. That's all I have to give. No negativity coming from over here. So whatever we can do to prosper, whether we're from the same city or not, let's help each other get better.
Absolutely.
And Flight, let me let him know that we have a devout Flight Sports contributor named Spike Leak. That's from Sacktown. And boy,
Okay.
do he represent that purple up there in
Come
Sacktown.
on.
I,
Oh yeah,
I
big
call it
team. Light the
Cowtown.
beam.
But,
Light the
but
beam,
yeah,
baby.
like the
Light the
beam,
I
baby.
was
beam.
just
Come
about
on
to say,
now.
Spike
like the
Lee
beam,
is.
like the
I wish
beam.
Spike Lee was in the building. He can chop it up with you about Sacktown. You know what I'm saying?
You know
I've
what?
been up there. I know what it's about. It's the capital of California. But
See?
yeah,
Come on
but I'm
now.
from Southern though. I'm from Southern California.
See, he waited to get you on at the end of the show. I needed this energy at the very beginning. Make sure we talk about SAC, Beam Team, all that.
Yeah,
That's what we
yeah,
next
yeah,
podcast. That's what we on for sure.
Hey,
Definitely.
OG, you mind if I say? I just wanna let y'all know. Chat. This guy got a burner, bro. I just want to let y'all know. I'm just so you don't, know. I am the stat guy on this show, and so I just want to read off something for you guys. The 2 games that he's played so far for the Astros, he's shooting 43% from the 3-point line. That's that. If you're not impressed by the volume because it's been like 3.5, the
Give it time.
season, I want to say, what was
Give it
it,
time.
2020? Yeah, 22 to during the 21-22 season, he shot 42% from the 3-point line on 7 attempts. The season before that, he shot 39%. You might think that's a drop, but the guy was taking 8 threes a game. Like this is
No, you'll
elite
see.
floor space, and I'm looking at over here.
Please do. Jello, that's one competitive dude. And shooting with him, it's
Uh-oh.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year.
So
Burners are not something we lack over here with the Astros.
right, we can't
Right.
wait to hear about those shooting drills. That's gonna be
Oh yeah,
unbelievable. Um,
yeah, we get to it.
but definitely, Mike, appreciate you, man. It's Flight Sports TV. It's an honor to have you, man. God bless.
Hey, absolutely appreciate you having on. And obviously, like I said, we'll have to do this again in the future.
Yes, take it easy.
Absolutely, all love. Absolutely.
Uh, yeah, we ain't going nowhere, man. Like I said, we definitely was an honor to have my man Mike in the building with us. This was an unbelievable interview. We're gonna be back for more, man. I'm telling you, this is just the start of something special. So many big things going on with the big baller brand, Jello. I hope that we were able to answer all your questions, today. A lot of people had questions, and I hope that we was able to give them the answers. Because at the end of the day, that's truly what it was all about. Dex, what do you feel about the questions that was asked today, that was answered? What was your thoughts on this wonderful show here with my man Mike Bryson?
yeah. I believe the questions were very heartfelt, intentional, and straightforward. And Mike didn't back down when he was on the hot seat, and he answered it thoroughly and accurately, and he was very elaborate in a lot of his answering. So listen, when you are able to be as articulate as this young man and as ambition as this young man and stand in positive vibe and high frequencies, you can't do nothing but cheer for this man, Michael Bryson. And I appreciate all of his answering and not dodging anything and not fudging, not showing hesitancy. He wanted all the smokes, Flight.
He sure did, man. Casual, what was your thoughts
So,
on some of the questions that was answered, today, extensively throughout everybody? Like I said, everybody had wonderful questions. This was a professional interview.
yeah.
I thought that everybody upped their professionalism. Like I said, here was so much versatility. Don't ever get it confused, man. A lot of people try to put me in some kind of box. I rise when the lights get the brightest. You understand? So you bring me something like this, I'm gonna perform like never before seen. And like I said, I could have done better, and I plan on
Yes,
doing
sir.
better. And this was a hell of an interview. I want to thank you, Casual. Like I said, that was some unbelievable stats. This guy, he's a professional athlete. And this was unbelievable. Break down this interview and your thoughts.
First off, I want to say, OG, thank you for the opportunity to be able to come up here and be able to talk to a professional. Get insight that we all we some of us haven't been able to reach that level. You know what I'm saying? Even to where he's gotten, and so to get the type of knowledge from him, talking about stuff that, to be quite honest with you, like I was impressed that we were asking questions, getting in depth into the game of basketball without even having to, getting into talking about his game, because nobody even, cared to. Well, I'm not saying that it was a bad thing, but nobody asked him a question about, LaMelo, LiAngelo, or anything like that outside of what's it like being his teammate. You know what I'm saying? More of the questions were within his personality, asking him about,
Yeah, that's
his.
what that's.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off. At the end of
Yes,
the
sir.
day,
Yes, sir.
that's going to be. I want to tell you. I want to speak to that. That's always going to be a stigma when it comes to flight sports or whatever. So as that interview came, and I made sure that we brought up the Ball family questions at the back end. You understand? At the end of the day, you
Yes,
want to
sir.
bring. He is the star of the movie. You understand? And
Yeah.
obviously, him and Jello are teammates. That's a shoo-in. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
so
to
you got
Jello.
yeah, so you
That's
gotta
easy.
ask,
That's
yeah, so you
irrelevant.
gotta ask about
Yeah, we
Jello.
don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to force feed it. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the chief in the building. Tribe Sports Media pay the utmost homage. Chief, what's good?
I'm good. I'm good. What's good with you, Flight? I'm kind of jealous, man. Why you got why you got my bull stuff on, man? What we doing?
No, man. Listen,
Not New York now.
no,
Not
man.
New York now.
Next time I'm gonna represent New York. I was thinking about doing something New York, but I don't know the red. I just said no. This bullshit don't look too bad. I said, I said let's go.
Bro, the old rivalries between John Starks and Michael Jordan, those things are still fresh. Those are things, Ewing and Jordan in the 90s, those things are still fresh in my mind. I did a whole lot of trash talking in military day rooms during those days, bro. From the Bulls, to my New York friends, so I had to jab you a little bit, but bro, it was, I didn't come in the beginning. I meant to be there at the beginning of the interview. I came in, I sat and I listened. All the questions was excellent. I'm not the type like that always got to, oh, let me jump out. I don't, that's not I'm very comfortable in myself. I don't have to always, sometimes sometimes I'll sit back and just observe if the energy is right and all these things. I'll just sit and observe, bro. This interview is in my X. I put the link in my X. This interview is in my community tab. When I go live again, I will talk it up. This is why I was in this space, Flight. This is why I came to this space for things like this. I came in this space to collaborate. I came in this space for us to build. I didn't come in this space to entertain foolishness. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed the interview. I'm looking forward to more interviews. And as these things come through, Tribe Sports will talk it up. It is what it is. That's all I got to say, Flight.
Right. I mean, like I said, you're right. I'm happy that you said that. Like you said, you came for moments like this. These are all the things that me, Dex, these are things we talk about, man. And to see it firsthand, this was unbelievable. I'm telling you, this has been an unbelievable, great energy of a couple of days, and I'm just excited for all y'all, man. Like, this was crazy. Like I said, I was excited for this interview, and it was everything that I thought it was. I'm happy to have you here, man. We want professionalism, man. Like I said, we not just running out. You're not just running your mouth. You are one of the best talkers in the world with this Ball family shit. You feel me? Period. Point. I don't give a damn about a stat line or whatever the hell you read. That you are one of the best Ball family content creators in the world. You understand? And you got to walk like it. You got to talk like it. And God damn it, it's my job to promote everybody that's rocking with Flight Sports that I know got the Ball family in their heart. I'm going to make sure I push it to the fruition. That's my job.
There's one question I wanted to ask him though. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time for me to ask him. It would have been a deep question, a question that would have taken a little more time than we would like anyway. I wanted to ask him, what's it as a professional player? What is his feelings towards media like us? Media outlets like Flight Sports, like Vanity Sports, like Bartram, critiquing basketball players from the outside looking in, on their games. Does he think that is it fair for us to criticize them based on their game, or does he feel like it should be more qualified voices? And what would those qualifications be if he does feel that way? So I wanted to ask him that question, but I mean, there's always tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? There'll be more pro players to talk to. Yeah,
Right.
we'll get that.
You know, like I said, this was definitely extensive because, like I said, we got a lot of questions answered. Jello just signed, you know, over there. A lot of people got questions. A lot of people. We can't get no closer, Chief. You understand? I think we got as close as we can get.
I
You know.
mean,
Go ahead.
it's good, you know, and it was professional. It was, I enjoy what I saw, Flight, you know, and this energy is what I'm hoping that we keep,
Well, we
you
got
know,
to.
keep this
Don't
energy
let
right
nobody
here.
screw this up. Go ahead,
That's
Chief.
right. Keep this energy right here. This is good. This right here, this energy. Let's keep it. Just keep it right here, man. And the fruit that come from it will be, I think, Flight. It'll be great, man. Because now Flight Sports, you know, it has the reputation of bringing on, you know, interviews like this. The interviews are balanced, thoughtful. The guests are the same, and that's it. Nothing, none of the extra, you know. And I think that will now get other persons, because people talk. Now it's like, oh yeah, come by Flight, man. You know, blah 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 blah. Okay, that's what I see, man. So yeah, I loved it, bro.
Dex, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it just another day in the office for us, Flight. These are things that we have done in the past, and we will continue to do in the present as well as the future. So, just hop aboard and be amongst the positive vibes.
That's right, Dex.
Yeah, man. So, what were some key takeaways you took from this, Chief? Like, go ahead.
You know, I was very interested in his conversation with Hoop Jargon, right? Because Hoop Jargon has moved around in a
The hoop
similar way
jargon
that he
start
has.
cooking.
What? You know, so I wanted to see that interaction. I wanted to see that fleshed out because Hoop Jargon has been in those situations. Then we talk about how the expectations that American players have when they go overseas. You know, when you are an American and you find yourself playing in leagues overseas, how I'm not going to say the burden, but just the expectation of what you bring to the table and how that's managed, you know. And I found that to be a very intriguing exchange that they had, you know what I'm saying? You know, and these are the type of things that when we talk about overseas basketball, because it's happening more and more, Flight, more of us are finding our planning our roots. If we don't make it to the NBA, if we're on our way to the NBA or on our way out of the NBA, we're finding ourselves more in places like where Brother Michael is, and where Hoop Jargon has been. So this type of thing, this conversation, I think we need to have more of these type of conversations on the Isaiah Thomases, on, when Strawberry went overseas, on where others have found success overseas, and everything. And I think that the more this is exposed, then the talk won't be, oh, he's just in China. It'll be, okay, what's going on? I want that conversation to enter this space more. So I enjoyed that, bro. That part of that conversation, I was listening. I was on the edge of my seat because I know what Hoop Jargon brings. And so for him to have that conversation to discuss the culture of how it is outside the United States, but still trying to ball, that is good information, good insight. Like,
Like I said, I love what I heard, man. This guy is the truth, man. Like I said, even the stats that was read, Dex read off some numbers as well. Man, this guy is the truth, and I knew that he wasn't just a bench warmer when he came on here, and I knew that I may have not studied every facet of every game, but I did do my homework on his history. I may have not known when he did so much yesterday, but I studied really from his high school, when he went to high school in Sacramento, his Santa Barbara days in college, what he was doing, all these various different countries, So I just think that his journey, what he did with the G League, what I noticed is a lot of people who felt like they got screwed over in the G League that's over there in the SEBA Cobra. That's something that I took away from this interview as well. What do you think about that?
Yes, the thing that it says that what we have options, bro. We're not locked in, you know. Now, the clouded option, of course, is to make it to the NBA. But if that does not happen, if you are a hooper, there's a place for you in this world, you know. Now, if you pursue what you say you want to, if you're serious, as long as there's a hoop and a court and a ball, and there's a game and a tip-off, you'll be there. So, okay, G League isn't popping the way it should. Let's go down to Mexico and see what's going on down there then, you know, and everything, and still live out our individual dreams and grind and continue to do what we love, which is above everything else, man. He didn't sound like he was like, oh, I'm in Mexico. He's like, yes, this is what we about to do. This is the game tomorrow. You know, we just got finished with them, but now we got another challenge. You know, he doesn't.
He said they giving up the bag down there.
Yeah, I was about to get there. I was about to get that, Dex.
They giving out the bag. See, that's another thing, Dex. The bag, you can get the bag, baby. Do not sleep on this, man. You can get your bag. If that's what you want, you got the skill. As long as you're ready to play.
Lord knows what they pay you. I'm sorry. But go ahead, Chi.
You can get the bag. Stop listening to these people talking about, oh, it's just over there. No, you got your bag. And you're doing what you love with a bag with a cherry on top. Come on now. That's right, Dex. He did say they got the bag. Go ahead, Flight. I knew you was gonna say something, Flight, or Dex.
Oh no, I forgot what I did interview about. So I forgot what the hell I was just saying. I just got thrown off. I just said something, but I forgot.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. That was is that casual?
Basically, like I said, they got
what's good.
Something with that, but this guy is, like I said, Lord knows what they paid Jello. That's what I said. Pardon me. Right. Yeah, like I said, we talked about the bag because a lot of people perceive, oh shit, we went to Mexico.
But remember, Flight. I was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of, you know. Yeah, you remember, and people, you know, kind of think I was, you know, going out of my way because of LiAngelo. You follow what I'm saying? But like I said, I even told DKM what time it was. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that he's kind of out of the loop. And I was like, you know, and then DKM was like, you really think so? You really? Hell yeah, I think so. What do you mean? I know what it is down there. You know what I'm saying? And they want a reputable league, and only way you're going to get a reputable league if you pay a little more than the average. And these people, they crazy. Some of them are crazy down there. You know, we know the stories that happens down there south of the border, but they want to be entertained at the same time. And they will pay buku money to be entertained because they already feel like they are pariahs when it comes to the society of the Mexican population. And they just going to, you know, they're going to overindulge financially. So I knew what he was saying, and I knew what he was kind of holding back on, you know what I'm saying? But it just vindicated what I was saying, you know, on the streams and even with DKM.
Yes, and he also said
Slim, you know what I'm talking about, Slim. You was there, Slim. You was there in them streams. You know it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Dex went full-fledged ahead with that question. I was like, damn, Dex ain't fucking around. He gotta get some information on what's happening over there.
And also, he talked about the locals, the status of a team based on local talent and who you then bring in with it. Oh, it was, you know, this is no cap. I'm not saying this, you know, just because I'm here and I think I'm past the ingratiation part of this process. You all understand what I'm saying? You know, it's like, I really, I liked it. I like the realness of it. the authenticity of it was it was very authentic flight. I definitely enjoyed it. That's why I went on and jumped on.
Right.
Yeah.
No, like I said, you are definitely past the ingratiation process, man. You maybe have contributed to over 50,000 views for Lord knows. I need to get a head count, since your started being here. So your impact has been felt. People don't get we got to listen, men lie, women lie, but the numbers don't. This guy Chief is a powerhouse, point blank period, and you heard it here first at Flight Sports. So, yeah, listen, I understand your impact. You ain't got to worry about it. I know.
I appreciate it.
So, okay. What did you hear from today that could impact LiAngelo? Did we get where we at now?
You asking me?
Yes,
Oh
everybody.
yeah,
Everybody. You can start with you first.
I'll start, man. Look, the friendly competition. I can't wait to get into shooting contest with. This is how you bond, bro. The shooting contest is how you bond. You know what I'm saying? And everyone is talked up. Of course, everyone is competitive, right? That's true of anything. But there is a energy here that'll be different than what was going on in Greensboro. You understand what I'm saying? So now LiAngelo is in the place, as Dex has said repeatedly, where he's wanted, where he's valued. You understand what I'm saying? And where his teammates value him, right? Out the door. My man was glowing talking about Jello, through the screen, so now Jello can get to work and cook and become a contributor to the culture, himself. He can contribute. He can add to that blend of something that's up and coming and rising down there that they want down there, So I think that it's free. Now Jello's free to cook without all the nonsense. He can be down there with a program. The coach is balanced. The coach will get on to him when he need to, but he'll let him cook. You know what I'm saying? And that's all you can ask for. So I like, and as Slim Ken Hoop said, and he's getting the bag. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting the bag. And yeah, like Rap God said, shout out to LeVar, man. Through the perseverance of it all, through keeping the faith in himself and his vision, and the brothers embracing it and continuing the vision themselves, So I think it's a good thing for Jello, man. I think it's the perfect situation. He can cook and he can grow in his he can grow in his in his career down there. And now that there's a connect, we can watch it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, I'm looking forward to seeing it continue.
That's the plan, man. I hope, like I said, I'm happy that we heard it from the horse's mouth, But what I will say is, this is gonna be unbelievable with LiAngelo. Lord knows what it's gonna be, with this season. But just speaking to him, I got optimism. What did you think about the way he said how Jello is perceived on the team? Some people may have had reservations, but once they met him, it was like they were blown away. It's almost like the same thing they thought of LaMelo and Lonzo. What the hell is going on? The media that screwed up everything, didn't they?
Yes. The unfortunately it's they have to, unfortunately, unfair. They have to now go behind the narrative of the media and let the people see them as they are, and everything, not as they've been narrated by the storytelling of the media, who all have their agendas connected to Bella LeVar, so, and that whole process, so just like it was with LaMelo, oh, you're not nothing like I thought. Of course not, because you all are believing because you're believing what has been said about them. You know what I'm saying? So now Jello has to go and say, oh, Jello cool. What y'all talking about? So that's going to be the case until the narration is different. But Flight, our job over here on the media side is to create that different narrative, is to create the energy that says, no, we know what that media said, but we know him differently from what they've said, and I think like our job is to present that as a counter narrative to whatever is going on, not in a way that's not like we the Bayhive or nothing like that, but to really get truth out is what I'm talking about, Flight. You know what I'm saying? To get truth out, about whatever is really going on, that's balanced, of course, but let's speak the truth about this, not this foolishness that they've put on them. So yeah, man, it's a process, Flight, but I think we can play a great role in helping that process. But also, if we're not careful, I'm not talking about present company, but I'm just talking about the entire ecosystem of this, that's why I'm always on top of our actions when it comes to the brothers. We carry a lot of weight in this, bro, more than what we think. And and then we have to be responsible in how we also present this family, bro. It helps, and sometimes it's hurt, So I'm all about helping, balanced, but helping at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying a lot of people kind of my position. Like I said, I open criticism. I do believe is criticism should be open in the Ball family space, but just downright hatred is just we just take a complete stand on stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not
that's
it.
that's the only
That's
thing. I
right.
mean, you want to critique something, you feel like, okay, LeVar should have did this, man. I ain't agree with that. That's cool. Well, we can have a 3-hour discussion on that. But we want to get into this, that, and the third. We want to talk about this and
That's right.
what's going on with that, and just stuff that has nothing to do with nothing. It's
That's
like
right.
now it gets crazy, and a lot of people would be like, "Damn, man, look how you act," and then I get hit up like, "Man, you this, you that, you doing this." I haven't received anything. I'm doing this because I love the Ball fan. Before I was doing YouTube. Like I said, I was studying LiAngelo Ball. I mean, I love LiAngelo Ball's game. I will be watching LiAngelo extensively, whether I was a YouTuber or not, and vice versa, into LaMelo, I mean, I would have been doing this whether this has just been we all here for a reason. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, man, because at the end of the day, I want them to win, bro. I want them to win. Now, how they win will be how they define it. And however they define it, I'm good. But I do want them to win, Flight. Even if I have
Yeah,
critique, it is
right.
because I want you to win, bro.
Right. And we
You know?
need that at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, I would be the one to sit up here and take a stand with anybody that wants to kill criticism. I would say, listen, man, we cannot erase criticism because, like I said, it just is wild. If we want to do stuff like it's dangerous. To where we're just a one side of the fair. A lot of people say, man, it sounds like you saying you trying to hypnotize my. Nah, it's not even like that. We have some of them. We got some of the wildest people that have come on here. We'll have people come on here to say this is that, he's trash, he's that. You name it, we've had it. We got some of the most wildest, hatredest people if we wanted to unleash that on here, but we just choose not to. So it is what it is.
Indeed. Peace, folk. Good to see you always. So yeah, I
But
enjoyed it.
shout out.
I enjoyed the flight, So congrats to you. I don't know who set it up, Dex, of course, but congrats to you on this, bro.
Well, we set it up. You understand? We did it as a partnership, me and Dex. You understand? And like I said, we're gonna continue to bring unbelievable interviews like we've been doing from the inception. You understand? As a team effort here, and like I said, well, meeting and linking up with Dex, we've taken Flight Sports to another level. It's all about collaboration. A lot of people want to be the me. I just want to collaborate with every goddamn body. You understand? So it is what it is.
We're gonna continue to take it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm about.
Yes.
I told you I'm not really a content creator. I'm more of a promoter. You understand? And I don't know if y'all have noticed that. I've said this for years, but I don't think y'all know that. I look at myself as the Dana White, the Vince, You know, that's what I want to be at this shit. You understand? That's what I want. I want to be the ultimate promoter to push everybody to the height. I want to be the guy who could sit down in meetings and represent all of the creators that's up here. That's some of the best in the world. I could do that. You know, I really can. You know, and I'm willing to stand up with the big motherfuckers when we get there and say these words. I would do it, and y'all know it. As long as y'all know it, that's all that matters. I would go. We gonna be at the mansion shouting out the dudes that's in the creators. We gonna be with LeVar. We gonna be, yo, listen, you need to get up with such and such. This is what we trying to do. If we get to that point, we trying to bring the people we not trying to gatekeep shit. We ain't trying to hold shit. We trying to bring it to the people that truly have the Ball family in their hearts. And I know we know who those people are. You understand? So, and like I said, I'm gonna promote the hell out of y'all because I know I got it in my heart. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So this will be promoted on the platform of Tribe Sports. It's already put out there, brother. So,
once again, OG, thank you so much for the opportunity, man.
No, most definitely. No, I rock with you, Casual. You my man. But you're just not a Ball family content creator. You know.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
So I know
besides, but still, you still welcome here, and you are great, insightful.
Yeah.
But it's just you're not a Ball family content creator, so sometimes don't feel like you left out of anything.
I pulled up some.
There's some scenes that I'm just I just don't know. You know, I'm ignorant to certain things, especially involving the Ball family. I mean, goddamn, Bartron knows the Ball history. Goddamn. But like, you know, just you even giving me the opportunity, you know, to see what I got. I appreciate that, man. That's more than most people do in this community, in this YouTube community or in this crazy world. Opportunities don't come upon us very often. So when they do, you have to be grateful. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I pulled up one down your streams, Casual. I like what I see over there, man.
Yeah, I like what I see too. You got a team over there brewing. I see what's happening.
Yeah, they're some knuckleheads, but we're gonna get them right.
It's good. It's good. You know.
I appreciate it.
You got to get the chief over there, man.
Man, hey, I need to get you over there.
You got to start pulling interviews, man.
Can I get, man? I got to get one of y'all. One of y'all got to come over there.
You got to start. You got to start hitting motherfuckers scheduling some dates.
We can set it up. Yeah. That's nothing but a word. We can set that up. That's nothing but a word. That's nothing but a word.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
I got you.
So I guess did this change anybody's insight with Mexico? You know, because like I said, obviously Jello, he acknowledged that outside of the NBA, EuroLeague, and China is it. You understand? Go ahead. That's it.
Yes, bro. They're up there on the now.
They would have been aired and streamed and all of that.
When they're up, right? The receipts are here. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're on the up. When look, it's what it is now. This man said money's been put into this. You know, that long money, that everlasting money. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to make moves. Because you look, these, like, even over in Saudi Arabia right now, there's talk about them making moves in the basketball area. Man, this is the overseas game is about to explode. You know, so it won't just be the EuroLeague in China for long, right? That's why the NBA even when the NBA had like a summer league or something in Mexico, I think last year. You know, I believe they did. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. Either on the panel in the chat, I believe they had a summer league down there. I believe they did. You know,
it was in Mexico.
It was south. They had some game down there. It was either summer league or G League, one of them down there. But the point I'm making is that Adam Silver, being the businessman he is, wherever there's a pot of gold, Adam Silver will be close by it somewhere. And if money is being put out like that, he's going to be close. He's going to be down, especially in the NBA's right in the United States backyard. Come on now. You know, I expect once they can deal with the logistics and some of the other security things that's going on down there, once they get that part squared away, bro, I expect Mexico to be on the come up big time because it's not far away. Instead of going all the way to China, prospects can Just go down south for a minute, you know, and be down in Mexico, close to home still.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. To start the season off, Orlando played Atlanta
In Mexico City, right?
In Mexico City, Mexico, yeah.
That's not just a random thing, bruh. That's there.
Mexico City, right? But Keith, I've been talking about that, remember?
Chief, Dex, you have been. You have been, Dex, for a while. You know, on and off, because I don't come on every stream, you know, but I've heard you talked about it. I've heard you talk about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, Saudi Arabia the same. They looking to, you know, they got the money, and they're looking to do it, you know, and I think the NBA, you know, they got to stay ahead of what's going on outside of these walls, you know. So
actually, I think most recently Brooklyn played Cleveland. Yeah, they did. Because remember, Donovan Mitchell dropped like 40 over there.
Right.
Yeah, he dropped like 40 over there. Like 40 points, double or something like that.
Yes, it's the thing, bro. Yeah. It's the thing. It's the thing. This ain't nothing passing by. This is about to become a thing, bro. Yeah. You know, so yeah, that's what I think of Flight Dex. You know, it's they want to make it global. And so of course, you know, the NBA from the United States point of view kind of want to be at the top of that global hegemony as it is, the tendencies, but there's other places with money. And like it was in the past, they got money to do it, you know, and to put some very nice things together. And the more they do it, like he said, the talent will come locally as well as, okay, you to make it over here. There's a spot for you in Mexico and a spot where you'll make a nice bag.
Yeah, I want to add something to what he said too, because he continued to reiterate the attention Jello is bringing. You know, I mean, I don't think they taking that for granted. I think everybody's trying to, you know, get in some of that. You understand? To each his own. I mean, you should. You know, Jello has only been an asset to this league. You know, bringing all these eyes, people clamp on for TV. I mean, somebody gonna get them a TV deal or something. I'm telling you, it could happen. All of these things are possible now.
Yes.
But what do you think about the impact that he's saying that, like I said, he brought up Jello? What do you think about what he's bringing to the league? Because now it's extra eyeballs. You see, they was, I believe, Bleacher Report, ESPN, NBA on ESPN promoted him out there. That they would have never been promoted if Jello wasn't there. You understand? Right. I mean, that's you got to keep it 100.
That's right. And see, that's why when someone when they're looking to make the moves they make, you need a Jello there, right? That's what I'm saying, bro. You know, Jello, you know, regardless of what his end goals may be in terms of, you know, returning to the NBA, playing with his brothers, X, Y, and Z, Jello Ball and the Ball family have a draw that is international and universal, bro. Jello can do it anywhere he wants to, bro. I'm just saying. I'm saying it here on Flight Sports TV. He can do it anywhere he wants to. And if Mexico is a good start, people will come to watch him play. And what that means, as you said, more eyeballs means that people want to collect a little bit of money out of those pockets, the attention. Oh, let's run this right quick. Oh, yeah. They're on a winning team, a championship team down there. Jello's on that team right there. Now we're focused in on what the team is doing. And we're focused, of course, on what Jello's doing, what he's contributing in that team, right? You know, the built-in, shout out to LeVar. Here's what it is. Shout out to LeVar. LeVar had it built in for them to do this, right? So now people can, you know, down there especially, they can, like Dex said, I think he said last night, you know, Jello has the perfect aesthetic. You know, if Jello learned, you know, could say hablo español a little bit, hell, he could almost pass for a local down there. You know, so, you know, he got the aesthetic, you know, he embraced the culture down there a little bit. Jello, you know, put the show on, embrace the culture down there a little bit, do that sambo, you know, with do it with of course with his lady, none of the other ones. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying make it a show, make it into a show, make it where yes, he's embraced us. Jello come up there and say hola, hola. Jello say a little Spanish on the interview, man. The people will go crazy to hear him say it, because they go crazy when we say it up here. When I come across, especially when I was truck driving, I used to go to the border to drop off some loads at Laredo, Texas, man. And down there, you got to learn, you got to know a little
Don't
Spanish.
tell me you've been to Boys Town.
What?
Don't start telling on yourself. Don't tell me you've been to Boys Town.
Yes. So I had to navigate speaking Spanish, the Casa de Cinco, brother, amigo, so I had to navigate speaking Spanish just to get the loads dropped off and picked up in Laredo, man. And of course from Laredo, you can look right across and you can see Mexico from Laredo, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, people don't really know me, Dex. They don't know the depth, and I'm saying this in humility, man.
Oh my God, Boys Town, you bring back memories. Boys Town, Boys Town, Boys Town.
So it's a great opportunity for Jello. It's a great opportunity for the Mexican team. It's a great opportunity for Triple B branding. If it's done, it's a win-win all across the board for everyone involved and the teammates. And now that they've seen Jello as he is and not this foolishness of narration, now everyone can settle down. We can get it cracking. Yes, Thunder Laredo is right at the border. You literally can look into Mexico from Laredo. Because it's what it is. A lot of things come up to the United States from Mexico. I mean, as a truck driver, see, when you're driving trucks and you are in the veins of the commerce of the United States, I've been to every state in the United States except for Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, North and South Dakota. Every other state in the United States, I have passed through, spent a night, and been in and out of every part of this country, so for a few years. So once you traverse this country the way I have, you can kind of sense what's going on. Well, before whatever's going on television, you can sense what's going on when you're the one delivering products that everybody use. Everything that you have was once in the trailer of a truck, that was delivered. So yeah, man. I'm very interested in seeing how the journey goes, and I wish them nothing but success. Jello, personally, the family, and all the players involved. Michael, whatever his ultimate goal is, even the relationship with agents, all that stuff is stuff that's great insight that we don't get, a lot of flight where you can get into how does a player relate with an agent. He said if certain things need to be changed, that's what my agent is for. Things like that. Things like that is important, and everything. I enjoyed the interview, man, all around. It was great, man. It was.
Well, like
I'm
I
gonna talk about
the politics of the G League as well. Yeah, I mean, he was really going there. I mean, he said, I don't want to say no names. I'm about to say, damn, we about to get some names too. I'm going to say, I just shut up and I just let him talk. What
Hey.
Well, you start jumping in the middle of what he's saying, you're gonna miss every goddamn thing.
Hey, it's like, ain't that what Shannon did with Cat? He let Cat talk.
Yeah, he was going crazy. I said, man. But now there's heavy politics in the G League. Like I said, people getting prioritized over this one. He says something about what school you going to, which agent. I mean, it's so many factors where politics is being put in play, and how somebody like Jello could get the short end of the stick.
Right, bro. Right.
Because he got the short end of the stick. They got my man Michael BRYSON.
Yeah. Dex talked about it last night when there was even talk about Bronny going to New York, and Dex reminded us all. Clutch got a good relationship in the House of New York, man. So it's like, no, that's Clutch. That's a Rock Nation stronghold. Those things, bro. All that plays, all that is influencing these different moves. The house of Nike, the house of Adidas, now the growing house of Puma. What school did you go to? Some of these schools are Nike schools, others are Adidas schools. The McDonald's All-American Classic is connected to a brand. it's like, wait a minute, are you serious? You know, some of the players are beginning to speak on it more and more in their pods now, you know, themselves. You know, I saw something on Gilbert's Arenas pods. There's some of the players was talking about that a little bit. But when you get into the meat and potatoes of the politics of this, once you go into those areas, then you can understand why certain players are pushed and why certain players aren't. You understand why certain players are playing for FIBA and certain players who should be on FIBA aren't on FIBA, you know? So, you know, and it's levels to it all the way down. Yeah, Slim Can, who Under Armour, etc. You know, Under Armour, New Balance, you know. So you got that going on, and then you know, so you got to be ready for that fight. It is a fight, you know, and everything. And those politics as have been arrayed against BBB. It is what it is. These are facts. This ain't nothing to secret. You know, hell, the head of Nike ran his mouth about a boulevard from his mouth, you know, so, and BBB from his mouth, you know, so those things, you know, so you know, this, you know, is you have to be ready to deal with the warfare of the dream, you know, not just the good idea of the dream flight. You got to be ready to deal with the warfare that it takes. And I'm talking metaphorically for the algorithm, you know, of the dream. You know, especially when you are entering into that arena, you know. So, yeah, bro. Yeah, it was great. It was, you know.
Right, man. You're absolutely right. There's too many politics in the NBA, man.
It's
What was
ruined.
some of the go ahead, Chief.
No, go ahead. You was gonna say something, Flat. So I was answering Slim.
Obviously, we know the politics. What's some of the politics Jello was going through it that you seen in the G League that you was probably disgusted with?
I saw that. One of the things I said, and I know there are people who passed through here that disagreed with me on this, but I said these things for a reason. And it was maybe my statements was clouded because I was still under the Lit House umbrella. But I said, Jello's trying to get in. Michael Jordan has an affinity for Nike and Jordan brand. I said, Jello, baby, get in, then rock the G3s. I said, don't rock them right now. Not because you don't want to, but you get in, and you get in where once you're in, there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want that to be an excuse when you're dealing with a man who tossed away the legends of Jordan throwing away other people's shoes that are on Nike is legendary. Friends threw his shoes in the garbage. You my friend, you wearing Adidas. So it's like I wanted it to be sure that he had a fair chance without all of the politics, you know. So Jello, just throw those Nikes on till you get in. Once you in, because you ain't signed to no contract. Once you in, take those Nikes off and put your G3s on. What can they say? Not a damn thing, you know, because now you've cooked, and the pressure from the fans and the pressure from business-wise, they'll just have to sit and accept that, okay, G3 is here. The same way they've had to accept that Puma's in the house. They've had to accept it, regardless of what they think about LaMelo and everything. Puma's in the house now. They can't do nothing about it. They just have to shift it around. You know, it's all warfare. So those politics went on, as well as Flight. Just like it was always said, I thought this about Jello. You know, how somebody from Chino gonna come down here and just, you know, those things, because unfortunately jealousy and envy is built into the cake of the tribe, you know. So, you know, those type of things I think prevented some things that maybe if Jello could have got the ball, certain things kept him from getting the ball because there's a certain attitude and spirit about him being there in the first place. And then, like I've said, and I'll continue to say, I think in some areas, not here specifically, but within the ecosystem of Ball family support, generically called the Ballverse, you know, I think there are certain elements there that didn't help that situation because it reinforced the narrative that this is just the Jello Ball show and not the team show. You know what I'm saying? You know, so those things together made a mess, in my opinion. You know, so it fed Jello's enemies in some cases. You know, enemies that they already have baked in the cake. You know, So that's why I say again, over here, we have a great weight in terms of how we help Jello and those brothers and how we come out and speak on them. We can defend them. We can defend them. We can defend the truth that we know of them, in a way that makes it where other people, instead of shutting them down, although there's some who will, you can't convince everybody, but you at least want it to be neutral. You don't want it to be, you want these, okay. And I think that those things kind of affected Jello there in Greensboro. LaMelo, I know LaMelo was not fully established in Charlotte at that time, even though he got in. There was still Gordon and Terry was still there. Tebe did what he did, taking the picture in the locker room, you know what I'm saying? And Tebe wasn't on the one. He just openly did it. He's like the little, how it is when you have children, Flight, this well. You have children. There's always one sent as a representative. If they all want something, they send the brave one in to ask daddy something. You know what I'm saying? It's the same with Tebe. Tebe represents some other attitudes in that damn locker room. You know what I'm saying? So, he just the one bold enough to show a video because he knew he was on his way out the door. So he wanted to throw salt on his way out the door. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I see that. So there was politics that played a role. The rollout, the Tebe kind of set the stage for the politics there when he did what he did. I'm talking about Devontae Graham. We call him affectionately Tebe. So, yeah, Flight.
Yeah, I mean, shout out Devontae Graham, man. Like I said, he pissed the people off. But like I said, I do remember that. Like I said, they all went through politics.
Yeah,
all three of them.
Yeah, they did.
And the politics will never end. That's the funny part.
No, it won't. But that's okay.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the G League? Do you have any negative thoughts perceived about the G League? What do you see for the G League outside of maybe a guy who is a late first round pick? If you're not a late first round pick, what could be life like for you in the G League,
bruh? The G League is supposedly set up in response to the JBA, by the way. I think anybody who says that's not why it was set up would be under a rock, or they're just some hating Negroes. I'll just put it like that on the monetized channel. The G League supposedly was set up so that players who wanted to monetize their talent to go there rather than go to college, although the NCAA actually has cut the NCAA with these NIL deals, which is what he talked about too, by the way, right? I came in on that part of the conversation. These NIL deals, Flight, has in essence cut out the purpose really for a need for a G League, bro. The G League was there so that players can monetize if they want to go to college. Is these, you know what I'm saying? If these players are now college, like you said, 5-star college players are making money now with these NIL deals, then that cuts out the relevancy of a G League. Now, having said this, I'm watching Jalen Green and I'm watching Scoot Henderson right now. If they fail, those two were touted as a success story for the G League. If they flop in the NBA, bruh, Scoot, I'm giving him some time. I'm giving him a little bit more time to see what he do. But Jalen Green, if you fall, that's a blow to the G League, right? I believe SAR's in the G League as well. So it's like they need a victory in the pro leagues, because if they don't get it, Flight, then why would I send my son to a G League team for him to waste time there when I could send him to Mexico where Jello's is, where he can make a bag and he can sharpen his teeth there or sharpen his teeth somewhere else and still come into this league, So, so the G League, the G League, they need to fix it. Dex, Flight and Dex, you're both the same entity, They need to fix it. The G League has really disappointed me, Flight. I expected more from them than what they've done. hopefully they'll fix it. Hopefully they'll get it together. But it's going to take a more investment in the NBA, not just to set it up, and expect players just to fall in there. It's going to be competition for this talent, bro. That doesn't make the NBA. It's open now. Mexico, these other places are not sitting by just letting these players fall to the G League. They're saying, no, come down here. They got to fix it. It is what it is, Flight. That's my opinion.
Nah, you're right. Like I said, the G League, it's crazy, but I still think it's a decent pipeline. Hopefully, they got to just correct it. It could be something. It's been many evolutions of what it is. I remember when it was the D League. I forgot what the hell it was called. Some of them had so many different iterations of it, but it is what it is, man. Shout out to G3, man. Shout out to my man Mike. This was a wonderful interview. I think that we're gonna be back with him too. Like I said, big games, big news. Also, be on the lookout for that YouTube link. We are going to be on the horizon. We're going to be working like hell. But I do believe at some point we will be delivered a link,
Yes.
And we are going to be able to watch LiAngelo. They know. I think that they on it, the players, and that's what it's going to take too. They got to get up on top of them like, yo, what's going on? Because they can get somebody to film something, goddamn it.
Yes, sir.
They're making a lot of money. They could figure something out. They've done it before. They just got to make sure they get those games. Especially, you got all this attention with Jello. You got to make sure you capitalize on this. This would be a true missed opportunity if they didn't capitalize on this moment.
No, I think they are though.
Yeah, me too. I think they are too, man. I think it's the beginning of something special.
Yes. Yes, sir.
What you got? What you got going on? What's popping on your channel?
I'm in the studio tonight, Flight. So I've been behind on my music. I got to put some more songs out, bro. Chief Barton is an artist. Everybody, I engineer, I rap, I sing. I engineer, I do my own graphics. So I'm an artist, bro. I make my own beats. I make my own music. I'm pretty good at it. And I got all the tools I need, bro. So I'm in the studio tonight, to continue to get some music together, drop some more music and everything. I already spoke on LaMelo yesterday. Talk about him not having the hunger, not having the hunger when he was driving a Lamborghini at the age of 16. It's like when you have the trappings, the things that the game gives you from the NBA level that people bust their tail to get to, LaMelo has that already. So his motivation is not like somebody who's trying to buy their mama a house. You know what I'm saying? With respect, his motive is different. LeVar took care of that. LeVar came out and said, I got these things taken care of. So therefore, Lonzo, LaMelo, and Jello can focus on the game, not the other things. So because we haven't experienced anything really like that, the talk is, well, LaMelo got his rookie extension, so therefore he doesn't really want to play. And it's like, well, wait a minute. It's like the man had the money already. He was flying in a jet at 19. So, if he wanted to be lazy, he would have been lazy back then. He was sitting on the seat. He was sitting on the sideline like a fiend, looking for another shot of heroin when he wasn't playing, and then when he was hurt in his rookie season. What are we talking about? So I kind of talk about that a little bit in way more colorful language than I would here on this platform.
Well, we appreciate you. But the live stream, we could get a little bit edgy. I did say that.
Yeah.
We
I want to respect everybody in this chat, man. Others who come through here, everything. Don't put your damn decrepit mediocrity. Don't put your damn decrepit mediocrity on LaMelo and the Ball family just because you are sitting down and not doing what you love for the sake of doing it, whereas they are. You can't even approach them. You don't even know what the mindset of abundance is, bro. To be grateful daily, to do what you love. This is what I hear from them all. This is what we hear from them. And knowing everything is already taken care of family-wise, that's a different mentality. Now it's about just playing the game because I love to play. That's why Jello's in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? You know, now of course the bag is a bonus, but the bag, the stimuli of the bag isn't for survival, bro. The bag is to really get compensation for their talent alone, because daddy and mama and the family are already taken care of. They don't need the bag for that. You know, though I'm sure they do for family, as family does, but their motive, you know, I will never forget this flight. The first press conference that LaMelo Ball had, Rob Boone asked LaMelo a question, as they ask everybody to try this question. What did you do with your first NBA check? What did you buy? Da, 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 da. And you know, the standard answer flight is, you know, I just bought mama a house, I retired my parents, and I just pulled my mama out the hood, or whatever it is. LaMelo looked that man right in his face and said, "Oh, I don't touch my NBA money," just like that. And I think Rob Boone did not expect that answer. I think it was like a pause, because he didn't know how to follow up, because he's never heard a 19-year-old answer a question like that. He don't touch his NBA money. Why? Because he was doing so much business already. By the time he made it to the NBA, he was set up so well. Shout out to LeVar. Shout out to Jermaine. Shout out to all the people involved in that. You know what I'm saying? That made it where he was set up. He had and the young man has a beautiful head on his shoulders, taking care of business wisely, where he doesn't have to even touch his NBA money because he's doing other business. So and I'm saying generically, I'm not saying specifically, we're not used to dealing with anything like that coming in at the age of 19 flight. We're used to the grind story, the success of rising from the deep bowels of the hood, and now we're here, and now we're going to buy mama a house and all this stuff. We are taught to work, bro. We're not taught to love anything. We're taught to just work and not love the work, not love what we're doing. So it's not work. It's just we do it because we love it, not because mama depends on it or someone depends on it, because we kind of got those things taken care of already. So I kind of go into that in that type of in my recording, you know. So it's heat sometimes, but I like to leave, when the people that come over to Tribe Sports, I like to leave them with something to think on, you know, as a person who is now in his mid in his will it be 53 this year. If I can't offer, even if I have not accomplished what I want in my life, like even in my mistakes, that can be a lesson for others, man. And if I can help someone walk the path where we'll be stronger as a tribe, then I've done my job, and I'll continue to do that. So it ain't just heat and cooking people, you know. It's heat. We cook, we think, we laugh, we get mad, you know. But that's just the circle of life itself, man. And that's what I am, authentically, bro. This is me, you know. So yeah, that's what's going on flight on Tribe Sports, man. You know, so.
Yeah, I'll make sure y'all go check it out. Dex, you got anything to add to our stream tonight?
Yeah. Is Zion taking care of his weight?
You think he's not, Dex?
I don't know. I'm just posing a question, because we're not hearing much from Zion lately. What the hell is going on over there in New Orleans? I know they just come off of the carnival and Fat Tuesday, and Zion has been MIA. So did he eat himself into a coma, or he's still injured?
I think they're gonna load manage him, man. I don't think Zion will ever play a full 82 games. They're gonna play him on and off, bro. Yeah, I don't think he'll ever play like a full 82. I think that's just not in the cards with Zion. Have you ever seen? You should look up his contract, Dex. It is crazy, all the things they got put in that contract.
Yeah, he got a fat boy contract.
Yes.
Barkley didn't even get a fat boy contract. Oliver Miller didn't even get a fat boy contract. Bro. How the hell did Zion get a fat boy contract?
This man brought up Oliver Miller. Lord have mercy. From the Razorbacks to the Suns. Well, look at you.
I'm just saying. I mean, even Lamas was the first Mexican-born player to play in the NBA. Even he didn't get a fat boy contract.
This man brought me think about Lee Mayberry and Todd Day. What you doing, Dex? You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget Corliss Williams. Don't forget him now.
That's right. That's right. There was all on that team. We'll see.
Man, that is crazy how they doing Zion, man. And look how they got this young man feeling. The NBA should be ashamed of themselves for trying to body shame Zion. Stephen A. Smith need a spanking for body shaming Zion.
He don't do that. They don't do that for Joker though.
No. Or they don't do it for what's your name, Luka either.
The Joker Luka, they can plot around. All game.
Just flabby out there.
And they're just geniuses.
And putting up numbers.
You know?
And Zion is sitting here. I mean, could you imagine the precipitous drop of the celebrity and fanfare of Zion Williamson?
Yes.
I mean, he was at the peak. He was at the apex. What happened?
He was the one. The play-in was made for Zion.
Was made for Zion, no doubt. Was made for Zion.
It was made for Zion. To get them
fully constructed. Every brick that was laid and all the mortar that was spreaded to hold those bricks together was made for Zion. Yep. To build the play-in situation so the New Orleans Pelicans can make the play-in and Zion can have a playoff experience.
Yep. Interesting. They got some. Miss Benson got some choices. There's been rumors that they because of the market and because really is what it is. Sky, DJ Gemini, Purple. Don't trip now. New Orleans is Saint City. It is. That's a football city. Miss Benson owns both those franchises, the Benson family. And talk is that the priority is the Saints, in terms of money and resources. That's where it's going. And there was whisperings about this last summer, especially when, old girl came out and decided to run her mouth because, Zion had a daughter on the way for the different lady. You know how that goes, which has since died down, by the way. But
Zion out there sowing his royal oats.
Hey, I mean, Dallas, baby. There's something about Dallas that makes Zion glow. Zion started licking his lips when he's talking about Dallas, Dex. It's like, okay.
He damn near became a Maverick.
What?
If they would have pulled that trade, he would have been a Maverick.
Whatever's going on in Dallas, Zion perks up when he talks about Dallas. He gets a whole glow when he talks about Dallas. Whatever's going on in Dallas. So, word about paying Zion and Brandon Ingram, and there's been rumors that they may, because it is New Orleans. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, Sky, but the money, may not. How much are they going to continue to spend money on this team, or if they're going to try to do a light reset or retool, and will that involve Zion or Brandon Ingram? So I'm watching for the PR and I'm watching for the words that's coming out of New Orleans on Zion because I'm curious to see this summertime what's going on with that.
Okay. What up, Dex? What up, y'all?
Shout out to the legend, icon himself, Uncle motherfucking Verg.
What up, Dex? What's up, young man? I ain't catch who it is that's talking to Dex, but I know you're a very smart young man. If you keep up a conversation with him more than 10 seconds, boy, I'll tell you he's intelligent. Hey, Dex, look here. This conversation we having about Zion, I'm gonna tell you, Dex. Let me put it like this, Dex. Okay, look here. You got two dogs, you got two dogs. You got a real big one and you got a real nice, fast, small one, medium size. But the medium size got a lot of fight in it. Okay, we talk about what's his name? The one that played for Memphis. Nothing. Is it Memphis? Yeah, for the Grizzlies.
Ja Morant.
Yeah. okay? You put him and you take Zion. It's the difference between the two. Do you know what that difference is? Because they all got skills and everything else, but you know what that difference is between the two? And you can't help but agree with it. The fight that's in them dogs. Zion ain't got that kind of fight in him. He don't want it like that.
That's a good point, Uncle Vern.
You know what? You know, to his Josh bit to his downfall, to a degrade, he wanted too much. He wanted so much that he got to prove it off the court. Zion ain't trying to. You see what Zion trying to prove off the court. But that guy wanted so much that he'll take it off the court and take it off the court and bring it. You know what I'm saying? On the court. He just keeping that same flavor all the time. He bring it to you hard like that, and you got to bring it back in him like that. Zion to bring it to you hard, but that's just it. That's talent, B. That ain't number talent. He ain't got that hunger. He ain't got no hunger for no championships, nor directing no team to get one either.
So do you believe Zion is happy in New Orleans?
No, Zion ain't gonna be happy nowhere where he go to. He gonna be happy as long as Zion should be happy everywhere. That's to be the place for him. He should retire there. He got good food. He got a lot of money and access to everything else. That'd be the only place for him. Because if you go somewhere else, they're gonna be asking something out of him that he ain't got. That's leading the team to a championship. He can go to LA and sit up there and do it. Because look who he got playing behind. Who he playing with? He ain't got. Zion remind me of who? Shaq. You get it?
In terms of like he had the physical, but not the mindset.
So if he was in shape all the time, trying to do his job all the time, he'll be in shape all the time, trying to do his job all the time. Mm-hmm. When he fall off, just like Shaq. Mm-hmm. Shaq and Kobe. That's the difference between Zion and what's his name up there in Memphis and Kobe and Shaq. That's the difference between those two. Shaq do it just on his talent, just on his big butt talent alone. Zion do it just the same way. And you see the results.
That is interesting. So
he don't have that fight in him like that.
You saying he could do more then. You saying he could do way more than what he's doing, Vern. That's what you saying?
Straight up with talent on Zion. That's it, that's all. And then we see how that fall off, and we all know how that fall off. Look at Sean Kemp, more talent in the world.
Yeah, Sean got fat in his last.
Zion, he really got the Cleveland days going on with the talent, with the bronze.
Yeah.
Difference between the two dogs, man. Between them two dogs. And then if you had to choose again, you would still take Zion over what's his name? What's his name? What is his name?
John Morant. I don't know, man. It's
Dex, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, what is the name? What's the young man that played for Memphis again?
John Morant.
Yeah, John Morant. Yeah, John Morant. Right. I wouldn't take Zion Williams over him. I wouldn't. No way, no how. I have to just deal with the problems that he going through off the court. I just have to deal with that. When you see the problem, what would you rather deal with? The problems that he going through off the court, or the problems that Zion going through off the court?
That's a good one right there. I mean, when Ja's on the court, he's electrifying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's electrifying. He's must-see TV. So Zion, one night you can get the most out of him, and then the next night it seemed like he concedes to McCullough and Ingram, but Ja Morant don't concede to nobody.
No, he got that fight him. He wanted more than Zion do. Zion, like you said, Zion take days off. He take breaks. It's just like a football player. Football players don't too many time take no breaks, because if you keep up with the play, people fall off the play real fast, and then it's like, oh man, I can still be in it. But you just fall off. If people see that you falling off, they say, dang, he lags. He lags around, so we don't need that. Zion lags around. And he play head games, and he play stupid games, and he caught up in the mix. And boy, I'm telling you, Dex, he would be my first pick. He would be my first pick.
Well, I mean, you could say that now in hindsight, right? Because that's 2020. But coming out of college with all of the celebrity and fanfare that was surrounding this young man, and he had some poignant charisma,
Right.
because he smiled and he was jolly and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And come to find out, he was a farce.
Yeah.
Come to find out, the man was a sex addict.
Yeah.
He was a Tiger Woods of basketball.
Yeah, I would give him that. You can turn the sex addict thing through stupidity, because it's like
he's a Tiger Woods of basketball. That's what it was. Tiger Woods of NBA.
Right. You can look at it like that, because it ain't like it's unheard of in the NBA. You understand me? But it goes right back into what do you strive for? We talk about Zion as far as basketball abilities.
Zion brought his African heritage to the NBA.
Yeah. Yeah.
He won a harem.
So Zion needs to be on the team with an alpha then.
Yeah, he have to.
So nobody's on the Pelicans is alpha, Chief?
Well, Uncle Vern said it. He said Zion will defer to McCollum and Brandon Ingram. See,
I said that. That was me.
Oh, you said it, Dex. I thought Vern said it. Well,
no. You're right. Dex said that, but he will do. I agree with that. He will.
So then you got to ask a question. Then, if he's going to defer, then where are you putting? This is New Orleans. It's a small market. If he's going to defer to them, then do you keep them or do you keep him? See, this is what I'm saying. Dex. These are the things that I think is going to come up this summer, as far as, okay, Zion has openly said he's taking a back seat. He's trying to get comfortable being a leader, blah, 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 blah. But in the meantime, I'll kind of sit back and let CJ and Brandon kind of be the out front guys. You know what I'm saying? Now, for him with his skill and what in the business, the NBA, that's not a good answer. Right. It's not a good answer. So where do the Pelicans go with him if they put all this in his contract? And you should go and look that contract up. It's, just type in on Google Zion Williamson's contract and look up.
I think we did when he first got it. I think we chopped it up about it.
Okay, chopped it up, man, because I recently looked up his contract and I was amazed at all the different things that was.
Yeah, a whole lot of it's not guaranteed. Yes.
Yes, a lot of it not guaranteed. Body fat percentages, games played, all that stuff is in the contract. So. Again, a lot of great players could have been greater, but they rested on the laurels of their raw talent, and they never went and became and really delved with their craft. I've been saying over and over again.
Yeah, they never enhanced themselves. Yeah,
they never enhanced it, man. It's like Zion would be an MVP if he would.
Oh, no doubt.
If he would just go and work out with Carmelo Anthony for an off season and get his moves and forget all his point Zion mess.
But you got to remember, Zion is kind of, what's it called, a sloop-footed?
Yeah, he is.
Maybe some move is just not in his body type. You know what I'm saying? So if he was to implement some of these crafty moves, he'd probably be injured more often than not.
You think on the fadeaway jumper he would be?
Maybe not a fadeaway jumper, maybe not that. But Carmelo Anthony had some elite footwork.
Yes.
In that low post.
And that's what Zion needs. He's not.
I know that's what he needs, but when you look at his body type and the way it's formed, and then the way he wobbles, he might be real clumsy when it comes to that aspect of the game, and that's probably why he never implemented.
So is he pigeon-toed? Is that what we said?
You don't see how his thighs rubbing together and shit.
Hey, Dex, where I could agree.
Surprised he never caught fire.
Hey, I'm about to get out of here, man. Y'all have a great night.
All right, salute, Chief.
I'll be
Salute,
passing
Chief.
through. Peace to you, Dex. Peace to you, Flight. Peace to the panel. Peace to you, Vern. Peace to everybody, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bird.
Hey, but what I would say, well, I was gonna agree with you with Dex with that. But when it come down to it, it's like, okay, in the NBA, you got 82 games, in the season and everything else. So a lot of times, the coaches, they ain't gonna be able to work with you, on the corner, off the court thing. You try to more or less, implement plays and stuff like that, which ain't gonna be a whole lot of them. But my point is just with that, Zion gonna have to do work like that off season, and Zion ain't got it in him to do that work off season. You get me? So like that stuff, what you talking about right now, that should be taking place off season.
Zion got some kids to take care of in the off season, so his off season, his hands are full. Because them girls ain't finna let him just run wild, because they already know he's loose with the cannon. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to try to put him under management and supervision. So I don't know if he got too much time to go to the gym and work out.
This is it.
You better take them kids with you.
This is it, Dex. This is why. My whole mindset is just, Dex, I don't support that kind of attitude, Dex. I'm sorry, I just can't do that. I couldn't support that stuff that was going on out there, like you already doing. I have to go through it again, but let me go through it again and make up you understand. I couldn't support that garbage that was going out there with shouting with the so-called Michael Jordan being older and stuff like that. I didn't, allegedly older. You understand me? But I didn't support that. I can't support nonsense, Dex. One thing you should know about me, I really don't support nonsense, Dex. If it smells like a skunk and it look like a skunk, it's a skunk, Dex.
It's a skunk.
Yeah, it's a skunk. If it got a what color is the stripe down his back? Is it a green stripe or a blue stripe or a white stripe? Yeah, it's a white
stripe.
Skunk. Yeah, that's a skunk.
And that's why I think that Zion haven't incorporated any kind of new offensive weaponry is because of his body type. And the best,
all right, go ahead.
The best you're going to probably get from Zion is what you've seen. Yeah. Just a freight train, unstoppable force in that restricted area. Yeah. But as far as doing any fancy footwork to help him along the way, I mean, his footwork is not even Karl Malone footwork.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's because of his the way he is shaped from below his waist. It's just real odd.
Yeah, he kind of remind, like I said before, he kind of remind me of Shaq. You understand me? Shaq, I'm gonna tell you, how many moves Shaq had.
But Shaq had some footwork though.
That go footwork to where? To the free
throw. In the low post. No, in the low post.
Yeah, turn around. He get it, turn around and dunk.
Yeah, remember he learned from what's your name, Olajuwon. Shit.
Yeah, hey boy, I'm tell you. He learned two moves.
Yeah, after Olajuwon put him through the ringer, Shaq went and worked out with that man. You're like, shit, this is where I need to be. Up under him.
Hey, listen, next time I remember that. But I remember before then when he had got down to LA, Jabbar was trying to help him with his thing too. I never see Shaq come up out his arsenal with nail hook. I'm telling you.
Nah. He had a little baby hook. Sometimes he'd throw that little baby hook. But it was rare. He didn't really need it because he was so dominant, and he could move people out the way if they was in his space. He just take over the space. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how big and monstrous he was when he put down his demo.
So we'll just go to my point right there. Shaq didn't have to learn that. He already knew he had two moves already. Sound like Zion Williams. Zion Williams ain't trying to learn that. They going out to learn that. They gonna have nobody to help.
No, but Shaq did learn footwork.
I mean,
I don't know. Yes, he was doing drop steps and all kind of stuff for his big man.
All right, okay, I reckon that. I remember the footwork. I remember. And he didn't get caught for traveling too many times neither.
Nah, the NBA don't really call traveling, especially not in the restricted area. You could do whatever you want, just about.
Yeah, if they don't like you, they'll call it on you.
Really. Yeah, right, yeah. But So Zion, like I said, if next time you watch him play, keep in mind in his lower extremities and how they are oddly shaped, and this is why Zion defies physics. Based on him being not needed. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for him to be able to have such quick and forceful muscle twitch and be able to jump, move, and maneuver so swiftly with so much force and still be not needed. Normally, those not needed players, they, like Cartwright, you know what I'm saying? You're going to just kind of shoot your little jump shot, shoot a little fade away, and that's about it. Because, your legs is just not perpendicular to your body frame. Your legs are going inward. And so the law of physics say you won't be able to have good balance. Your equilibrium is off.
Yeah.
And Zion defies that because he moves with swiftness. He's nimble, but he is offensively limited based on his lower extremities form. And that's probably why he's added to his game when it comes to his footwork. Because just think about how quick Zion is off his feet and how nimble he is. But it's with a lack of footwork. Most players that's like that, their footwork is so good, they are able to defend off. They are able to fend off defenders through angles. And Zion don't need angles. He just swift and he got a fast jump, a fast takeoff.
Right.
And that's because of his muscle twitch is supreme.
Okay.
But when you look, like I said, when you look at his lower extremities, man, it looks like the dude need bracing like he got polio or something.
Yeah, I hear you.
And that's why I believe that he haven't added to his game, and working out with Carmelo Anthony will just, nullify anything except for the photo op.
Right.
Because I don't think he can, position himself with that kind of footwork being shaped the way he's shaped from his lower extremities.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess that's going to have to remain to be seen. But, yeah, he going to continue his career. He's physically healthy. He going to continue his career. Hopefully he'll get wise and smart and start doing like you just said. You understand me? Like you suggested he do. Get with somebody, you understand me, teach him that footwork and stuff. But, it's like, I don't know. Do you see him as being one-dimensional?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he has yet to develop a jump shot.
Yeah.
So, but he is so good at what he does already. A lot of times players predicate themselves on that because that's what made him a multiple all-star.
Right.
From what he's doing right now. But just because you're a multi-time all-star, that doesn't mean that that's the end all to be all. And those kind of performance that led you to the all-star will get you to the next level of winning a championship or even just being a representation of your conference finals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that hurts the Pelicans, to be honest with you. By Zion not being able to, be effective in the mid-range and the high dunker slot, I think that hurt the Pelicans to some degree. And not even being able to shoot three-pointers. We've seen him shoot them in his rookie season, but, that's something that he has stayed away from, shooting three-pointers. So the only way that they feel for the Pelicans that Zion can maximize his talent is putting him at point Zion.
And that ain't gonna happen, I don't think. They've
been doing it. They reenact it, and some games is good and some games is not. It's the 50-50.
That means they already made sure that they already stated that he's the first option there, right?
Basically, that's what they want to force it. See, they want to force it in his head to be the first option.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the ball in your hands. It's up to you how the offense run. You have the option to pass or shoot
Right,
by
exactly.
playing point Zion. See, when he wasn't playing point Zion, a lot of times Zion would drift off into never ever land.
Okay, I see.
So they don't want him drifting off, so that's why they're putting him with the ball in his hand. So he has to be responsive all the time.
Right, exactly. I understand. Yeah. Point Zion. Yeah, okay, Point Zion. I forgot all about that. They was doing that. I knew they was trying that before. I thought they gave up on that idea.
They did at first, they did, because of Zion, complaining about the usage and him being used to the point where he feel like he's an NFL running back. You know what I'm saying? You know how they do NFL running backs.
Oh yeah, use them till you can't use them no more.
Yeah. So Zion was like, nah, he ain't finna do me like that. So, CJ McCullough, he just can't cut the mustard.
Right, exactly.
That's why they brought him CJ McCullough down there, so they can expand the career of Zion for CJ McCullough can make the play, to be the playmaker.
Right.
But that's not cutting the mustard.
Right. Right.
So they gotta put that ball in Zion's hand and keep him. What's the word they always use? Engaged? Yeah, to keep Zion engaged.
Right.
Because he will drift off. He get to thinking about that them cakes on his girls. He get to drifting off and shit while Brandon Ingram and CJ McCullough's out there playing their ass off.
We said thinking about the case, huh?
Yeah, think about them girl cakes. Zion, you be like, in third quarter, Zion got 10 points. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what have you been doing all game?
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem too. I guess that's gonna be a problem. He can fix that problem himself. Though. It's like it's kind of you can't teach determination. You can't teach hunger. You can't do that, Dex. Either you got it or you don't. He already got the money. I mean, what is he trying to fight for? The championships now?
Yeah, that's the next level, right? Once you become an all-star, then you get paid. Now you want to win rings.
Right.
That's supposed to be the step, stages, and degrees of an NBA ambitious basketball player.
Right. Like I said, he don't appear to be that type of person to me. He don't appear to be that.
Yeah, it seemed like he tailed off once he started chasing tail.
Right. Well, start getting paid. Once you start getting that big check, boy, I'm telling you, man. He getting an enormous check.
Yeah, he getting an enormous check, but it's not. A lot of it is not. A chunk of it is not guaranteed. It's incentive laden.
Right, I got you. Because I remember you were talking about the contracts, and I remember what they said before. They got stipulations he have to uphold to, like weight, everything else. Game, he got to play in so many games and all this and that. He can't just, Yeah.
Right, like I said, it's a fat boy contract, and I mean, Stephen A. Smith had a lot to do with that. To be honest with you, he has a big voice in this NBA content curriculum. He persuades some of the board of governors on various teams, and give them the idea or the encouragement to follow through what they want to do anyway. Instead of him being an opposer to these board of governors that's trying to limit the pay to the players,
right?
Stephen A. be saying, I wouldn't trust him. No, the man cannot control his appetite. The man is out here wilding. I will not give him a fully guaranteed contract. If you do, you're stupid.
Right. He worked for the NBA. He worked for the owners, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He say stuff like that.
Yeah.
So and he does it during contract times.
Yeah, right, especially during contract talks. Yeah, but that's what he do. He worked for them. He getting paid from them. His whole thing is being on is just for that right there. And that's why, what I'm saying, it's like he's the insider. That's how he get inside information to a certain extent. He worked for them. He worked for the peoples.
Right. So now it's different if he would do it after they sign their contract. and he go on an all out assault.
Yeah.
But the ink is dried.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But no, he do it beforehand.
Yeah.
That's how you know this man is a devil.
Yeah, like you said, he do it doing the contract negotiations. So
Yeah.
right, he's a voice for the
He's an agent provocateur.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's the word. There you go. Yeah. He go in between, but he be, like I said, he don't really go in between. He works for the owners. He has so he has
he takes their side. Yeah.
Right. He got alternative motive for doing what he do. Yeah, protect their side. Right. Exactly. Yeah. But he wants to give off the impression that he's with the players. Right. No, but that's what it is. A lot of them play them same games. Yeah, a lot of them play them games. I'll be noticing they play them games. I noticed about him and about a lot of them a long time ago. Skip Bayless like that to a certain extent. What's the name? That one guy that's Ryan. What's the name? That analyst to be for the what's the name for the SEC. Feinberg, whatever his name is.
Yeah. We're about to get up out of here. Yeah, we're gonna pull back up tomorrow.
All right, Flight.
All right. Shout out to everybody, man. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.